So Brian Sheehan starts proceedings from Optus Oval. The Demons in absolute desperate need of a credible performance and hopefully a win for them. Carlton also coming off a loss last week. It was a dangerous kicking free kick, which is paid, and the umpire's got to make him come back, Porter, and try again.
Adam Uze, Hutto, has started in defence. He's on Matthew Lappin, who's been in great form for the Blues. I really enjoy his play down here, and he's got the ball straight up, and he's even juggling.
Yes, handball to himself almost, and then tries to drive it into Cooter. Neats lost his footing completely. Cooter had time to swivel, but the kick is not good. Hickmott pretty good in these circumstances normally. Whelan and Walsh put the pressure on. Free kick.
Free kick to Adrian Hickmott.
Yep.
They look pretty dangerous already, the Blues. I know it's only the game's only 30 seconds old, but their body language is good. And they've got a major advantage here at Optus Oval.
So Hickmott has been such a terrific player for Carlton since coming across from Geelong. And always good for 1 or 2 goals, and that's a terrific start. He's put it through.
I'll say it's a terrific start. What you said was correct. Don't they look dangerous all of a sudden, and just kick goals like that early in the game, can't it have an impact?
But can they're kicking with what Bruce that there is here at Optus Oval. When you get the ball up at the other end inside 50, you get the shelter from the Robert Heatley stand. But big John Elliott, who's sitting right in the middle of the members stand there, and the George Harris stand, he'd be pretty pleased with that opening.
So it's time to batten down the hatches already for the Demons. First blood to the Blues inside a minute. And it'll be Porter and White to do battle. White perhaps just got the advantage there. Forced out the back. Bradley read it well. Beaumont, quick handball. Koutafiti's charging through the middle, swings onto the left and kicks towards centre wing. Beautiful looking kick. And
Melbourne haven't had a stat yet.
Hickmott's given Whelan the slip, kicks inside 50, beautiful looking kick, hasn't quite got enough on it. And cutting off was Uze, who, as Jared said, is the hunter today rather than the hunted as he has been for the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Only problem with that is that Wayne Britton now has control over where Adam Uze plays. He can push Houlihan right down into the forward line and take Uze away from the play.
He's had 83 more kicks than any other Demon this year. Uze, it's a telling stat, isn't it? As Godfrey takes a mark cross half-back. Showed a little bit also this year, Simon Godfrey.
What a risk this is.
That's a risky kick. He's coughed it up. Danger signs here for the D's. Wheatley's going to have to go. Bottled up by Merrington. Could be holding the ball. Works it out. Can't get clear. And lucky to get away with that, the D's. In fact, they might even clear in the end. Walsh, who's been missing in recent weeks, is so important to them. Out the back towards Wheatley again. Played 12 games last year. Needs to lift today. Hickmott read it best. Kick inside 50. Had too much on it. Overcooked it.
Just back to Simon Godfrey's kick. If you're going across the ground as he did, you can't telegraph it. He looked, he turned, he had to think about it, and then he kicked. And by that stage, a couple of Carlton defenders had closed 30 metres on his target and intercepted.
Well, Bruce did all the hard work then. Unfortunately, the easy stuff was taking the mark in the end, but he couldn't do it. So a bounce in Melbourne. Just need to get some confidence about them. They do appear to be a team just lacking in confidence, which is obviously understandable given their situation this year.
Neitz has pushed forward, so he's gone down to pick up Cooter. And as proceedings have gone on, he's pushed into the forward line and Cooter's gone with him.
Hickmott sets it up. Whelan to Sporty to get in the back of Lappin. He didn't.
He didn't?
Well, according to the umpire, he didn't. And Phoebe, who had 29 touches last week, gets his first for the afternoon. Oh, unlucky for Walsh then. Just eluded him. Simmons did well to apply the pressure. Brown, Walsh. And now they can link up. White looking for Neats down there in the pocket. He can stand up, just edge Cooter out of the contest. Swartz here to Rove. He almost stole it from his teammate Williams, who's back in the team today. Centering kick, it's a dangerous one, a good one for Melbourne, and Liam Shelley, who has the time to steady himself and kick well across the body and through for Melbourne's first goal. So well played, Andrew Liam Shelley. His best game last week for quite a while. And he has had a very ordinary season after starting well. We know how good he was last year, but 1 goal straight for Melbourne and the same for Carlton.
The shoulder problems have really caused some problems for Liam Shelley this year, Jared. It'd be good to see him get back to some form today.
Yes, I just thought Cooter was a bit stiff to not get a free kick there for the push out, but you just saw Scott Freeborn run under that football. I think it was Scott Freeborn, might have been Jimmy Plunkett, but that had to take that with him, and it set up a good goal there to Andrew Leoncelli.
A bad bounce here from the umpire gave Porter the entire advantage towards half forward. So a telling one, this one. He couldn't get a goal out of it for the Blues. Humes on the end of it. Kick inside 50. Good pass to Lappin. And those who don't like the bounce may well say there's a classic example of why it should go.
Well, I'll put my hand up for being one of those. Actually, I think it's a bit like the drop kick. It's fantastic when it works, but it works about 1 every 6. I think the stats that we get from the umpires about 93% effective are almost as big a myth as I've heard this season. But what an advantage. They may have well thrown the ball up on the half-forward line for the Blues, or just given it to a Blues player, and a shot at goal is the result.
Kicked for 24 goals this year, Lappin. That not one of them.
93%. 93% they say are effective.
93% of centre bounces.
Which means that it goes up inside the centre circle.
A bit liberal with those,
1 out of 10 is ineffective. We've already seen the 1.
Okay. We'll do our own stats today. Hold you responsible for that, Jared.
Thanks, Archie.
Uze to bring it in. Told to hurry up by the umpire. In the end, decides to go his own way, but all the Blues out this side of the ground. He took the wrong option. He pulled the wrong cord, no doubt about that. And the Blues will get the advantage. The decision-making there wasn't what they were looking for.
That's a bad sign, that one.
So Koutafidis, congested forward line. White goes with Porter. There's Merrington. Game number 2. In the end, it kicks hurriedly. And might have kicked out of bounds to the full himself, I reckon.
Just touched.
Just touched. So the umpire has a little bit of a how do you do? Nick Mansfield there. Ward, Hickmott. And a throw in. Melbourne haven't played Carlton here at Optus since '99 and haven't played much footy here at all with these. Lappin, Camporelli, he's from 50. Curls it back. In the box seat was Hickmott. Whelan was pretty tough on him. Nicholson happy to see it over. The Blues doing all the attacking at the moment. Margin just at 1 point.
So Carlton 1-1. Melbourne just the 1 goal. White from behind Meeks had the jumper pulled by Cooter, and the umpire spotted it. So free kick going to David Neitz. So we've seen him at both ends of the grounds already this afternoon. Plotting his progress this afternoon will be interesting, and one of the important features of the afternoon, you would think. Goes very wide, made it tough for Walsh. They're finding it hard to get a path out of defence, that's for sure. Walsh blazes his own path, but had the handball more in hope than anything. Lappin worked well. Well done by Brown. That'll keep the pressure on Hume. He found a way through. Whelan's in good position here, though. That's a good strong mark. He is an important runner for them out of defence. He was in excellent form last year, and they missed him late in the year. And he's been good again this year after he's recovered from his injury problems. Simmons couldn't get to it. Manton made sure of that. Wheatley close to the line. And the ball out of bounds. So Melbourne really have probably done a reasonable job so far, considering Carlton have dominated, as we can see from the inside 50 stats. The margin just 1 point. Swartz joining Porter for the ruck duties and wins it well. Silvani swooping, had Cooter in support. Was going backwards and put Silvani back under some pressure, but he had the time. And there was a little uppy that handball from Porter, but they do it pretty well. Bradley gets Silvani, and suddenly Mansfield's got it on the end of it. Beaumont off the left boot, a wobbly one. This time it was the Carlton player and Lappin who fell over. Uze let him recover, and Merrington's going to kick a sitter. An absolute sitter. And Uze was watching the player, and the footy came, and unfortunately Lappin slipped over and had the time to get up and get it.
I've never been able to accept that this is the right way of playing defence. I know some full-foot backs have done it over the years, but unless you know where the football is, you are going to get beaten. Have a look at Adam. He's got no idea what is going on with that football, and the message should come straight out to Adam Uze to say that is just not the way you play the game.
Okay, so a gaff from Uze, and as you predicted, Jared, he's been pulled all the way back to the goal square to isolate him where he's not comfortable, and we saw that at its best there. So a good coaching master stroke from Wayne Britton. The player down in the middle there, I think it might be Simon. No, it's Phoebe, Stephen Phoebe. Ball worked out from Godfrey. Again, the Demons can build something here to Wheatley. is a long kick. He should just bang it inside. He does. Goes long. At the back, a chance and a holding decision. So a timely one for young Luke Williams against Scotty Freeborn. Against McKay, sorry.
Now, Adam Musa, just going back to that situation, he has got to start either beside or behind him so he knows where his player is, but he can also keep the eyes up and have a look at the football.
Do you think he's a wrong matchup for Lappin?
Oh, no, I think he's a fine matchup for Lappin, and the issue is whether or not they can get enough supply through the middle without him being there.
And Williams kicks at goal and sneaks in, I reckon, for a goal. So the Demons answer.
So good response to the Demons, and they're holding on there. They've had the ball inside their 50 just 2 times, and they've kicked a couple of goals. So that's the way it can work sometimes. And the Blues, you know, they may still, we don't know the game will unfold, but they may just be full of verve and vigour for the first 10 minutes. But unless it's deep-seated in there, they may struggle later on in the match. So good stuff by the Demons to hang in there, and Luke Williams showing he's a talented player of the future.
So Melbourne able to answer so far. 2-1 to the Blues, 2 straight to the Demons. White giving the supply to Liancelli. That'll bring a bit of a smile to the face of the coach, Danaher. And well done from David Swartz to work his way out of a Silvani wrestle, which is not easy. Another slip, this time Green, but he recovered well, awkwardly but skillfully. He kicks the goal off the right foot, and they're in front.
And it all started in the centre bounce. It was a nice clean takeaway, and then a slip in defence by the Blues, and Brad Green was out the back. And right now, Hutchie's doing cartwheels. He reckons he's onto something here at Optus Oval. Good stuff there from Swartz, taking the front position. 3 clean possessions and a goal. Just overcommitted. Brad Green read it best through the air and finished off. Cooter's gone into the middle now, and Neitz is with him, so he's going with him each and every place, and that's
almost shepherding, isn't it?
That's bad for the figures. They're now 2 out of 3 shockers.
Okay. Hume to Camporelli. Jared's on umpire watch today. He's going to give it to him today too. Don't worry about that. Phoebe going through. The Demons are having a bit of a crack here. They win the ball again at ground level. Jeff White did well. Got it onto Brown. They work it forward. Short chip kick towards Swartz, who looks like he's come to play today too. Handball over the top. Again, Brown couldn't take it. The experience of McKay too good. Shoveled it out. Bradley was there again, dispossessed. They bottled up. Silvani in there with bandy legs flying everywhere. And the umpire surely will bounce it. We've got a rugby union scrum.
The only problem with Gerald's stats is there's been 6 centre bounces, and his stats only give 2 out of 3 so far.
Okay. I think Jared would learn after all these years you have to actually speak into the microphone to be heard.
They're just muttering away in the background.
Free kick there. And the free kick will go to the way of the Blues to Porter. 14 years he's been a household name on 7. Still coming to terms with the microphone. Out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will go the way of Ward, who must also have a big day today if the Demons are to be successful. He's playing as one of their on-ball quartet. I mean, their second biggest possession getter for the season behind Uze.
They've probably missed him across half-back, haven't they, by the fact that he's played on the ball and done such a good job.
Fair call, that. Simmons at the back. Porter, his opposite number. Rat shoveled it out. He's so good in those situations. Camporelli towards half-forward. Good kick. Hickmott's in some space. Can set them up here. Good chance for Mansfield at the back. Whelan, who's so important. Bit of love in front and square. Read it magnificently. And kick debut.
My dad is Santa Claus.
Tim Allen is the original Secret Santa.
Santa fell off the roof. Your roof. You read the card, you put on the suits, and now you're Santa, okay?
This year, Christmas is extra special.
Does this look like a little weight to you?
Tonight, the big guy's on his way.
Have you ever seen a reindeer fly?
Yes.
Hop aboard the most magical adventure of all.
Elves with attitude.
The Santa Claus.
Melbourne 3 straight 18. If Uze is going to play on Lappin, though, he has to be enormously tighter than that. So out of the middle with Carlton back in front. Here's Mansfield streaming forward. Houlihan couldn't run onto it. Good work from Godfrey to get it to the line.
Shows a bit Godfrey. He's a resilient young man, and he's according to Gary Lyon, I spoke about him a couple of weeks ago. He reckons he's a very good player and one who's going to serve Melbourne well.
Freeborn sitting down there on the bench, we saw. So they're inside 50.
Ratton
again, Ratton found a path. Whelan trying to spoil Hickmott, which he did effectively. Hume laid it off. Beaumont hurried kick into the square. Mansfield set himself beautifully.
Play on.
And he does, and kicks a goal.
Got to be better than that. He's obviously going to play on.
So Carlton now 4-1-25, and Melbourne 3 straight. Those last couple of goals very costly.
Their backline structure's in tatters at the moment, Melbourne, isn't it? They've lost the influence of Ingerson this year through retirement.
It all went back to Ratton, and it was a great lesson for Ward because Ratton took him out from the play, but when the ball was bounced, he pushed him off, and then he came straight back to where to the defensive hip of the ruckman, and he got the football anyway.
So 7 goals in the first 16 minutes here at Optus Oval.
Another one.
Freewheeling contest, bad bounce. Add that to your stats, Jared. Ward kicks towards centre wing. Farmer, who's been moved towards the action a little bit. He can rove this, the Wizard, if he's good enough. Franchina's going to give him a hell of a headache today. Camporelli steadies up, spears it towards the hot spot at centre half forward. Did it beautifully. Ratton, he just sold the dummy and kicked towards centre half forward. Beautiful kick to the pup. And Hume's got it, probably outside his range. And again, the 50 metres here at Optus can be described as anywhere between 40 and 48 at times. So this will be a good test. Decides to go short.
There it is once again, using the space behind, and that's very close to 50.
Very close.
But not quite. Good running from Glenn Mant. He's obviously pushed right down from the fence into the vacant area. And he's now got a shot at goal. He wouldn't have kicked too many this season, I wouldn't have thought, Hutchie.
0. 34 goals for his career, of course. Started as a forward almost at Essendon in his younger days in '93. And has been solely used as a backman, in particular a fullback for the Blues. And, of course, played in that premiership in 1995. It's a reliable kick.
Walsh coming from the ground.
And that one is on a good example of it, although it might just about get the distance. Good mark in front. And that's a good way to answer. The mark has been taken by Bruce. Brings it out to the Elliott stand side. The fly from White takes a good mark. That's what we like to see him doing.
Bruce in defence. And I reckon his man will be Beaumont, who's also free across the centre line now for the Blues.
Good signs with White taking marks. Here's Ward. Decides to take his opponent Camporelli on. Good confidence. Kicks long to Schwartz against...
great mark.
He's against Silvani today, but a great mark in front. A terrific mark on that occasion to Glenn Manton.
He's got Camporelli loose up the middle too.
Decides to go for Beaumont. He steadies up, goes short. Good kick. Mark has been taken by that man, Camporelli, who has been busy early with 5 kicks. Kicks towards Houghton, who's come onto the ground. Takes it on centre wing. Demons just try and zone back a little bit. Nicholson's without a man in defence. I reckon he'll end up with this Nicholson. He's in the box seat and he takes the mark.
Can you tell us the winner of the 6th?
Nicholson kicks towards centre wing. Good kick to Neitzu, takes the mark. Releases Brown. That's Nathan Brown. Runs his full measure, bounces, put himself under pressure. That was sloppy a little bit, but got a good kick away in the end to the advantage of Schwartz. They turned it over, though. It had to be pinpointed, and it wasn't. Carlton hurt you on the break. Camporelli to Ratton.
Free kick to Ratton.
And a free kick to Ratton. Well spotted, Jared.
He was scragged by Simon Godfrey, and he's getting towed up at the moment.
Ratton with 4 possessions to date. Kicks to Silvani. And again, we see the Carlton defenders running off and playing as offensive players. Oh, the kick from Silvani wasn't good. It should have hit Houghton. He's got a chance, though, still. He's bottled up at 50. Too short. That's got to be play on. Good call by the umpire, but good handball. And Houghton should kick a goal. It wobbles, but it goes through. Another one of the Blues. They've kicked 5. They're on the march.
Jerry, there's another example of what we saw endlessly a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, with the Bulldogs, with Carlton getting space around to the left down here.
Yep. Yeah, they do use that space wide, and they try and two-team their opponents. Watch this. This is just schoolyard stuff. 1-2. And it was just looked like a training drill. Dangerous signs here now. Well, they've got to hold on now, the Demons if they're to be in this match, because the Blues are showing every sign of blowing them out of the water.
Simmons into the ruck, but a free kick to Melbourne will be helpful to their cause. Needs to take it.
Good, give that one to the ump too. Good bounce.
Are they perhaps a side of skilled players rather than hard? Have they got enough hard players in their lineup?
Oh, I think they've got a lot of young players.
Good mark, Liancelli.
A lot of young players just haven't quite developed physically just at the moment. But, they go hard at the footy. They're just down on a bit of confidence, and Godfrey coming from the ground here just did not look comfortable down there on Brett Ratton.
So Andrew Liancelli taking his time. The clock not counting down at this stage, with the umpire having blown time on.
He's not sure it's left over right or right over left. It could be tricky.
There's a bit going on down
and
at the
there's a melee on the goal square. The umpire's paid a free kick
to Melbourne and 50.
Silvani.
He's paid a free kick and 50.
I tell you what, Liancelli cannot believe his luck.
It won't be his goal though.
He can't believe his misfortune.
Justin Schmidt, the umpire.
Is he a character in Get Smart?
Hogan's Hero, I think you're thinking of.
Okay. Some might say it was a Schmidt decision.
Well, it is Liancelli that gets the kick. So he does like the decision after all that.
Well, it's brought the Blues fans to life anyway. Not all that pleased with the decision. And I reckon Steve Silvani.
Oh, and there's another one on here. Schwartz trying to get a free kick. And Silvani. And they've come to play. It's absolutely on there at centre-half forward. And Simmons has gone to the ruck while White wrestles. Okay, so a lot of aggro in the game. Silvani and Schwartz at loggerheads. This could get the Demons going. It could get Carlton going as well, because Silvani feels he was jibbed on that free kick. We're not sure, but it's really added some spite to this game. Simmons has gone to the ruck. A chance for Camporelli. The crowd comes to life a little bit. Farmer's in the action. Important stuff this for the Demons. They work it forward. Ward charges towards 50. Kicks inside. Green in the box seat. Couldn't take it. Who's front and square? Bruce's gets the handball away. White, a big snap. Hasn't got enough on it. Almost has. Schwartz, one-hander. He's paid it. A mark has been paid, I reckon, to Schwartz. And isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it's not Schwartz. It's Wheatley.
My apologies. It's Wheatley. And a good one-hander mark that was too, Jared, if he indeed took it.
Yeah, no, it was a good mark. And it was good play by the Demons out of the centre, which is being a bit of a problem for the Blues just at the moment. Just to add some salt to the wound.
And Wheatley kicks a goal. Fantastic stuff from the D's. So 5 goals apiece for both sides. 23 minutes gone. It's a 1-point ball game to the Blues. And significantly, I reckon that the melee has sparked Melbourne a little bit. Schwartz has got involved. It's got Silvani a little bit ruffled at centre-half back, and they're still going at it.
So there is a bit happening here at Optus Oval, and Melbourne have got within 1 point. Simmons beaten in the ruck that time by Porter, who stood his ground pretty well and fed it out. Camporelli trying to get them going. Liancelli, Neats found a way, just banged it on the boot. Schwartz has to be good here against Silvani, who is always lurking. Farmer, haven't seen his introduction into the game until now. And what an introduction it was. Opened it up for Phoebe. Daffy little kick is okay. And Ward can shoot at goal with 7 minutes remaining. He can come in and put it through and give Melbourne the lead. Farmer's third handball. Terrific introduction into the game.
He's done well since he's playing more as a wingman today, Jared, and it's just giving a little bit of a spark. It's managing to isolate Franchina a little bit in a bit of space rather than in close.
Very good, and they're getting plenty of run through the middle. Their pace just of little concern at the moment with the Blues.
So Daniel Ward, good looking kick. It's away a little bit to the right, but he likes it. It's a goal. They're back in front.
Well, what a turnaround by the Demons. Over the last 5 minutes, they've gone from looking as if they were going to get blown out of the water to back in front on the scoreboard, and they're doing it with some good footy. Perhaps some of their best footy for a month, the last 10 minutes or so. Good direct running through the middle of the ground. This is a fair pick-up and handball by Jeffrey. And Farmer's got it to Phoebe, who gets it to Ward, who's having a pretty fair couple of weeks. Saw him play last week, and he was a star as well.
3 unanswered goals in 5 minutes from the Demons, and they are on the march at the moment. They lead by 5 points against the shell-shocked Carlton at the moment. Simmons again, another bad bounce contributes. Ward's had plenty of the football. We'll get his stats for you in a moment. Goes inside 50. The bounce going Melbourne's way at the moment. Bruce belts it on. Beaumont under siege. Hickmott's in there trying to get it out. And Fletcher can repel for the Blues towards centre wing. Only as far as Schwartz, who may get there first. And just barrels hot into the fence. Will have a throw in. Ward's had 6 kicks. Schwartz getting the boos of the Carlton faithful, who feel he's been involved with Silvani. As a game of charades goes on in the box around him. Got a note passings like grade 2 at school at the moment. Schwartz can't get it out. And umpire will bounce it. So Schwartz looks emotionally involved in the game today, as is that man.
Been watching Richard.
He's got some thoughts for David Schwartz. High scoring first quarter, as we often see here at Optus. On a sunny day, 11 goals kicked. Schwartz works the handball out towards Ward. Bradley was there also. And just the one handball for Bradley to date. We'll have a throw in. And just as we talked about whether they were hard, the Demons have put on 10 minutes of the hardest type of football you'll ever see.
Looks like Hickmott may well have gone pushed down onto Schwartz.
3 or 4 players fall over in succession there. Allows Hickmott to work at 4. That was terrific. At release, Camporelli's got plenty of space. Decides to chip it inboard. Good kick. Not a good kick in the end because it fell short of Lapin. Uze cut it off. He just read it best. Did beautifully. Kept going. Backed himself. Kicked to the hot spot at centre half forward. Wheatley in front. Half volleyed it. Couldn't take it. Porter was good. The Blues got numbers back. And they kicked to the fat side, as Terry Walls called it during the week. And Manton is away for the Blues. Franchina's on the end of it. And here come the Navies.
Off half-back, Franchina. The Blues down by 5 at this stage. Spots a man through the middle. Fletcher, who was pretty good for them last week as well up in Sydney.
Silvani just pushing out by himself. He'll end up with it.
And, well, he had to go very short and wide in order to find Silvani. Schwartz narrowing the gap. But Mansfield, hesitation. Just managed to get away. Again, he took a long time to unload. Getting to the front, Nicholson did it with ease. Just walked around Houghton. So the Demons stiffening up their defence. They've thrown an extra man back, and it's done a good job for them so far. Wheatley involved now as they start to work it along the outer wing. Well, not much motion up ahead.
Camporelli getting a lot of the footy.
Well, he's gone long, bombing it where there's an extra Carlton player. And in the end, the numbers with the Blues. Fletcher able to work it across the line and out of bounds. The extra man back for the Demons, and likewise the extra man back for the Blues. Although way off camera here, Troy Simmons is sneaking down inside 50 on the opposite side of the ground.
It's like a stealth bomber. He's just sliding along the back, and he is by himself. If they can win this out of the centre, out of this ruck duel, there is a chance.
Alas, it's another boundary throw in.
They've been very direct today, the Demons. Jared, as soon as they get it, they go straight, hard, long, and back themselves in the forward line.
They're just winning the loose balls at the moment.
They've had 20 odd less possessions than the Blues.
So just under 5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Melbourne in front by 5. Blues working overtime across half-back. Camporelli. Cooter versus Neitz. He's done a good job so far. Neitz, Walsh dumped it with Ward. Had to go back before he could go forward, but he did that confidently. His kick not great. The Blues made a bit of a mess of it in the end, and Melbourne able to lock it in with a couple of good... No, not a good tackle. In the back, said the umpire. Umpire Schmidt strikes again. McKay opens it up, kicks it out to the wing. Uze to spoil on Lapin. Good tackle, and that is dropping the ball. And now the Demons can take it and move.
And they'll do so through Uze, who's his opponent this afternoon. Squares it up to White. Carlton have got no one inside there attacking 50 at all, so the Demons decide to use the space, knowing very well there's no one coming from behind. This is Broadbridge. Kick towards half forward, spotted up beautifully to Walsh. who's such an important cog in their side. When he went out this year for 6 or 7 weeks, that coincided with the form slump for the Demons. Does really set them up. Now Simmons bangs it inside 50 and hope more than anything. Kicks to a contest. Big fly at the back. What a great mark to Bruce. He was the 3rd man up. And he did well.
Just interesting watching Daniel Wardy. Not sure he's got a direct opponent. McKay was picking him up just for the last 2 or 3 minutes, and then he pushed back, playing as an extra man in defence, just as one of the flooding players, which is leaving Ward pretty much by himself, and he's racking up plenty of possession.
So they call him Bruce. Important kick this. Kicks from 45 and drifts off to the left. Minor score. I think Melbourne have copped this quarter-time scoreline.
Oh, no doubt they'd be loving this at quarter time if the siren would go, and it's going to in about 3 minutes' time.
Camberelli brings it in. Too much on it for Fletcher. Congestion, but Fletcher backed his luck and backed his judgment too, as Jack Edwards used to say. Here's Silvani charging through. Kick towards half forward into space. And only goes as far as Broadbridge, is getting a little bit of the football since he came onto the ground. Beautiful kick towards Swartz, puts it in front of him. The bounce doesn't favour him, but it might sit. He's going to have Hume on his case. Kicks inside. It was lucky in the end. It found Walsh. Has to kick quickly. Does so inside 50. Good chance for the D's. And a good mark has been taken by Green. Used his pace, got to the front of the contest and took his first mark.
Horrid turnover by Carlton. They should have been aiming at goal themselves, but it was a shocking kick. And, well, Melbourne had just rebounded it particularly well. And Green is just showing that he is a talented player and he can be a dangerous forward if he's on song and the ball's coming in quickly. He got there very early in the piece. His judgment was better and he snaffled a chest mark.
And he's almost the best set shot for goal in the competition. You can mark this one down to a goal. Young Bradley Green. Didn't kick a point in his under-18 final year for the Tassie Mariners on a set shot. Amazing record, and along with Paul Hudson, I suppose, who's probably a little bit better when the ball's on the ground.
No, that's a great, that's an impressive statistic. I hadn't heard of that one, Hutchie. That's
for the Tassie Mariners.
That is amazing.
24 set shots for goal, no behinds.
Well, that was a goal too, and they're on fire at the moment, the Demons.
So Brad Green kicking the goal, his 2nd of the afternoon, and he's now got 28 goals, 10 for the year, so not bad at senior level either. And what a good result on the scoreboard, most importantly for the Demons at this stage. Late in the quarter, they lead by 2. They'll be trying desperately to hold on here against the Blues. Bradley creating the chance. Houghton under pressure, was dragged down even perhaps after he got rid of the ball. Ratton on the 50, trying to spot up Mansfield. It wasn't the most accurate of handballs, but Mansfield did really well to get it back to Porter. Awkward looking, Whelan to spoil Houlihan, he did that well. Uze against Lappin, and well done by Matthew Lappin. Took them on, brilliant tackle by Whelan. Now he's got Uze and Broadbridge in support. Good
Great kick.
Tackling and pressure's been really impressive by Melbourne, and quickly the Blues are starting to look a bit lethargic.
Meets ran for him. Him and Simmons combining there, able to get it out. Yes, coming through. Walsh was tough against Ratton. Silvani judged it beautifully, and now might get a free kick.
Wasn't that an important ball? Sauce snaffled it, and the Demons would have been away if he hadn't.
30 seconds to kick a goal, the Blues, and they've got numbers running down the ground. Good body work by Houghton. Uze up to the task. Managed to knock it clear. Broadbridge, Uze, ambitious handball. Watch out, Needs. He's crunched, and then he crunches Hume. Taken by Houlihan. Here's the goal we were talking about. Franchina strolls into goal and makes a big Blue.
You got 35 metres in front of you. You run it in. You make the certainty of it. He's not a highly skilled player, Franchina. It just had to be.
The only thing, I guess, is that it was 34 minutes on the clock, and he might have thought the siren might have sounded any seconds.
Yep.
It probably would have. 6 seconds to go. It could have. It didn't, of course.
This man's been very important for them early too, Stephen Phoebe. Jared playing on Bradley as a defensive player, going with him on the ball, kept Bradley to 2 possessions.
Well done by Walsh. Siren's going to sound. And it's quarter time at Optus Oval. And after Carlton got out to a 2-goal lead at one stage, 5 goals to 3, Melbourne have kicked the last 4 and turned in front by 11 points.
Taste what's on the menu this Christmas with Better Homes. Order up the hottest Christmas dinner or perhaps the coolest ice cream sanger.
Don't tell them how easy it was.
And why not turn some dead space into your very own garden oasis?
It needs next to no water, next to no maintenance, perfect Aussie garden.
I think he wants to meet you.
Plus, Guy Sebastian reveals his favourite secret hideaway. Have a Better Homes and Gardens summer.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite.
It's time for moving. It's time for changing. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time for freedom. Time for laughter. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time for living. Time for sharing. It's time for more. Yes, it's time.
Okay, the Demons by 11 points, 7-goal first term.
Jeff Farmer starting in the middle, Hutchie, and well, he's yet to explode this season. Who knows, maybe in the final quarters today it might be his turn.
An 87% efficiency rate from the Demons in the first quarter. There's that man Farmer again, just wouldn't quite sit for him. It was an important play for him, wasn't it, because his confidence is such a factor. And a free kick, and a dubious one at that, will be paid to the Demons. Ends up with White, kicks inside 50, long probing kick, Green in front, was held from behind, no free kick, went again, did pretty well to force the contest. Hume bottled him up in a small package in wrestling terms, and we'll have a bounce. Yes, 11 times inside 50 for 7 goals in the first quarter, Melbourne. That's a tremendous efficiency rate.
Yeah. And good attack on the footy there from Green, and he got a couple on the way through.
Franchina, who's Farmer's opponent today, Beaumont, who leads their rebounds, and that's why such a long probing kick. But Nicholson, who's been so important early in this game for the Demons,
White's been
to
good
White,
too.
who's getting a little bit of the football and general play, as we spoke about before the game. Walsh puts the foot to the floor, handball was a bad one, and in the end, the umpire thought twice about it, and in the end decided it was in the back against Christou, who started on the bench today, which was surprising. And I think that's Scott Thompson. Williams, number 26, kicks towards the goal square. Porter in the box seat, decides to palm it in the end. That was a big risk. Almost didn't come off, and will have a bounce. He was in position to mark and decided to palm the ball to the front of the contest. Could have come unstuck. Schwartz. Silvani out of top. Farmer's kicked a miracle goal! Shades of Alan Jakovic, the big volley, read it unbelievably. Take a look at this on the replay. This is one of the great goals you'll ever see.
I think Steve Silvani was a bit concerned with Porter's punch, and he tried to knock it through the goals. He'll come from nowhere. There he is. And as you said, Hutchie was well read by Jeffrey. And the wick has been lit. Will he explode? That is outstanding stuff from the magician.
What a start to this second quarter, and indeed this match for Melbourne. Farmer, a magnificent goal. And suddenly the margin is out to almost 3 goals in favour of the Demons. Who would have thought that when Carlton led by 2 goals? Farmer just couldn't take it with him that time. Fletcher. In front again, Nicholson, free kick. He's been very good since he's been back as the extra man in defence.
Just at the moment, the Blues are just showing signs of not having emerged from the flat spot. They were obviously a bit flat up in Sydney last week, taking nothing away from the Swans, who were fanatical and hard at the footy, and that's how Melbourne are at the moment. They appear to be a side that is more on song, more in tune, and they're giving away little niggly free kicks like that, and they're disputing the umpires' decisions, etc. All bad signs for the Blues.
Bruce was the flyer. Farmer. Schwartz was interfered with. His handball was at least. McKay and Lappin combining, and this is Hickmott now. He looks up and sees only Demons ahead of him, really, apart from Porter, and this man Ratton, who just ran for the space in the short kick, sets it up high. Hume doubling back, Porter as well, but really Melbourne had the numbers and should have been able to clear it. Still they might. Neitz waded his way through. Walsh had to be sure of his kick, and he was, and he gets Nicholson on the way out.
The forward lines just stopped functioning, Jared. Carlton's have almost conceded defeat down there.
Ward.
Yeah, that's right. No, but it's not working too well at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
A long kick. Bruce accepts it gleefully, and then worked nicely with Simmons over the top. Farmer kick the last one. Can he kick another one, Jeffrey? No. Sets it up instead. Lovely kick. Made sure of it. And the man who hasn't missed since he was 3 years old, Brad Green, takes the mark.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony.
No, I do appreciate your stats, Hutchie.
It's for cynicism.
But it was well done by Farmer, wasn't it? I mean, all of a sudden, the contract as far as kicking the goal became just that little bit tougher at the last minute. And he just put it beautifully out in front of Green. So here he comes. Surely he couldn't miss from directly in front. Oh,
unbelievable.
Dear.
That is the biggest moz I've seen. That is the best moz I've seen in a long time, Hutchie. You have just destroyed his kicking prowess.
Oh dear, apologies to Melbourne fans and to Neil Danaher when he's watching the tape back. 3 goals the margin.
What a let-off.
It is, isn't it?
I just can't believe that. Ratton it is on the end of it. Important play it could be too, because on the break the Blues, Silvani just tries to hold it up for runners coming forward. Didn't hit McKay. They're a bit rattled at the moment, the Blues. They've got to batten down the hatches. Kick towards half forward, would have hit the roof at Colonial Stadium. Nicholson in front, dropped it. Rare mistake from him today. Good handle over the top. Schwartz, good little give towards Uze. On the end of this will be Bruce, should take it. Taken off the football by Fletcher, who did pretty well. And Ratton was able to butt it up. Handball way to Camporelli, besieged. Ripped off the football by Ward.
Free kick, John Harvey. Is it John Harvey? No, it's not. But he handballed it away from himself. Then he gets dragged off the ball. What's his name? Looks like him anyway.
Justin Smith.
Justin. He handballed it away, and then he was dragged out of play. You can't invent the rules. You've got to play them as they're written in the rule book.
Of course, one of the great rules of football is if you don't know who was responsible, blame John Harvey. Doesn't matter if he's not here. Silvani towards half forward to Lappin. He's had a bad day, John Harvey. Plunkett kicked inside 50. Good-looking kick. Hickmott couldn't take it. Did well to get a hand to it, though. But likewise, Broadbridge kept his feet, and that was the important play. Got the handball away again. If the Demons can just get this going again, they'll break. Now Walsh takes them on and charges through. Has a bounce. Plenty of space in front of him. Has 2 bounces. Can almost kick the goal. Goes instead for Bruce in good position. Should take the mark and does. The Demons are on fire. Cameron Bruce, whose goal kicking will not be described in this commentary box. As we see Hickmott in the hands of the doctor, Phil Pearlstein.
Hutchie, you said the rebound off half-back was what's been missing from the Demons game so far this year. Well, they've got it back today, haven't they?
Walsh and Whelan, the 2 most important figures there. And Bruce has put the icing on the cake. The Demons have stolen a bit of a break at Optus Oval.
They've kicked the last 6 goals.
Yeah, it's looked pretty disappointing for the Blues and really positive for Melbourne. They're playing with a lot of spirit. And Carlton, well, they're just looking very lackadaisical, and it's going to take a fair effort for them to get themselves out of this frame of mind that has seen them now some 24 points behind on the scoreboard.
So 4 goals the margin. White got the clean tap. It was all Carlton players forward except Farmer, who ran. He was charging through, and he's told to keep on coming. So he does. Strangely kicked it low. It must be considered close to being a free kick to White. Gee, I thought Manton dragged him down. Maybe he didn't. Maybe the shepherding was just going on. I'd like to have a look at it again on the replay.
Farmer's made a big difference, Gerard, just to give him a little bit of an injection of pace on the ball.
Yeah, he's been the one that's got the ball out of the centre a couple of times.
I think it was probably the right decision. Strange the decision made by Farmer, wasn't it? Going into goal from 40 metres out to kick it low. There's a free kick being paid, and the local fans appreciating it. Fletcher.
Local fans?
Oh, local team, Carlton.
But Melbourne live in the state, do they?
And the ball over the line and out of bounds.
25-point ball game. A bit hard on in there, Harrow. Sorry about that, mate.
And the Blues runner is out with Bradley. And you just wonder whether he's going to have a positional change. Just an instruction. He's got to get some of the footy. They're just not getting run through the middle.
Hasn't had a kick yet, Bradley. Just 3 handballs. Stephen Phoebe's reinvented himself as a tagger today and done it pretty well. Here's Walsh, who's been responsible for so much rebound. Such an important cog in the Demon side. Runs in a circle and goes towards White. In the end, he went to Uzo. He'll get it to White. Instead goes over White's head, predictably.
Geez, they're lacking pressure, though. They are lacking genuine attack on the footy and on the man here, the Blues. This would be...
Bruce to Brown to Stephen Phoebe. Can kick a goal. He's pretty reliable from that distance.
Bang.
Has it got enough on it? I reckon it has. Another one. 7 on the trot for the Demons.
Well, the good judges knew something coming into this match, and all of a sudden they're up to a 31-point lead here, the Demons. The body language is looking terrible for the Blues, and it's looking exceptional for Melbourne. And the handball's been first class. It's been instinctive, and the finishing skills have also been pretty good.
Gee, it's been a while since Carlton have been down by 5 goals at Optus Oval. In disarray at the moment. 10-3 Melbourne. Kicked the last 7 goals. And here they go again. Nathan Brown delayed the handball and then went for the kick. Went long. Beaumont should mark here. And does. He's got Silvani pushing wide.
They're going to have to look at some major structural changes here shortly. The Blues are getting flogged in just about every position.
Silvani able to pump it long. Merrington from behind. Got to the front. Couldn't take the grab. Cooter trying to barge through and couldn't. Close to the line. Hickmott claiming it. Might get rewarded here from Justin Schmidt. And so the free kick going the way of the Carlton star, who's way out at half forward, Adrian Hickmott. 10-3 to 5-2, going backwards for Camporelli. Fletcher leading. McKay has pushed forward. He's leading as well. Over the top, Lappin crunched in the pack, couldn't take it.
Good tackle.
It was well wrapped up. And Whelan, the umpire, forcing a bounce.
Yeah, Bradley looks like he's gone on to Jeffrey Farmer to break the tag that he had.
Both runners working overtime at this stage as they try and make some adjustments.
That's a semi-risk from the Blues to put Bradley onto Farmer because he can just hurt the other way.
No risk at all, really, Hutch. He was getting no possessions whatsoever. They've got to break something. They just can't keep the status quo. You said yourself you hadn't had a kick up until halfway through the second, and Farmer's becoming a bit of a problem for them.
Wheatley with the ball on the wing.
I think once a player is down as far as getting beaten by a tag, change it quickly. Don't allow him to go down throughout the match and end up dropping confidence.
Good kick from Leoncelli, the Swartz, who presented himself well. We've got a couple of runners to the left, and it was a shocking kick from Swartz. It might get through to where he initially aimed, which was neat. Phoebe, a good tackle, good work in close by the Blues. The hands work there was pretty good from Merrington initially. Now Cooter, and Franchina's kick smothered. Cooter goes again. The supply was to McKay this time, who had to go probably where he didn't want to, out wide to Hume, who was always under pressure from Whelan. The Demons still applying the pressure, and eventually they win out. Whelan's hand pass good. Phoebe had to bang it quickly, but he had a man. We haven't seen him all day, and that is Russell Robertson, who can steady. The kick was low, and it was to wide in the pocket. Wiggins sat on top of Green and forced the bounce.
What about the pressure, though, of Melbourne? They had, I mean, Cooter himself had 4 possessions in that passage, but he couldn't break free, all ineffective in reality. And finally, they won the ball back. It's been an inspiring quarter and a bit from Melbourne.
And we've got a blood rule here, I reckon. We've got not another flat football, surely, with David Swartz.
The umpire should know better than to argue with him.
That would have been extraordinary. I think he might have been a bit cynical there, the umpire, Brian Sand. Swartz with a good punch to the offensive side for Wheatley. Couldn't take it. Out the back door again, they work it forward through Wheatley. Carlton gets some numbers in there. Cooter was good in and under. Got a handball away. Porter beat Farmer to the fall of the football, and that was good football. Ratton Camperelli stripped of it by Whelan, but Camperelli went again. He's had 13 kicks, but they haven't really been damaging. That was an example there. Walsh, such an important cog. Handball over the top again. They work it forward to D's. A big chance here for Ward. He's a long kick. Goes the goal front. Mark at the back. What a fly. What a terrific mark to the aerobic man, Russell Robertson. He's taken the mark. Squares it up. The umpire will bring it back. Didn't quite come out the way it was meant to, that one.
Yes, he's an acrobatic player, is Russell.
Goes to left foot and has kicked a behind, I reckon. Drifted away, minus score from the aerobic man, Richard Simmons.
Let's have a look at it. Takes a lot of aerobic capacity to get the ball down here, and Ward just bangs one in once again off the side, but coming from the bleachers is Russell Robertson. And he took a great mark, but unfortunately for Melbourne fans, he didn't kick the goal.
So as well as they've played, they've had a couple of chances they haven't capitalised on, but gee, they're getting chance after chance. Farmer was flying. Christo able to relieve. At the moment, the margin here, if you've just tuned in, 32 points the difference. Merrington providing a target on the wing.
McKay really is in an on-ball position, roving role at the moment. Needs to go. Good grab.
It was a good grab under considerable pressure.
Jimmy Plunkett just lurking in the middle by himself.
Franchina looks up, sees McKay. He had Cooter, he went for Silvani. Simmons tried to wrap him up, but couldn't. Silvani's supply was good for Hume. He didn't complete the mark. Well, that is just a sign of how things are going for the Blues at the moment. Walsh versus Lappin. Lappin applies the pressure and wings it. He got a high tackle, must get a free kick. Must get a free kick and does. So Matty Lappin has had...
They've dropped more ball in the last 25 minutes, Carlton, I've seen them do for probably 4 or 5 weeks. Their skills have been poor, and it's all come about because of the pressure from Melbourne.
10th possession for Lappin. He went wide to the pocket. I must say, having a look at the Sydney-Carlton game last week, and understandably when they lost Whitnell early in the game, they just looked a bit lost and directionless. And if a guy like Whitnell has played 92 games in a row, it must make a bit of a difference.
But it doesn't affect your confidence, Hutto. I mean, it may affect the way that you play, etc. But they're dropping marks. They're not hitting targets. They're not kicking the ball. Their decision-making is poor. It's all reflective of a side that's just gone into a bit of a slump. I think we came here expecting the rebound after 1 week, but maybe you can't do that. maybe it's going to take another bit of a kick in the pants for them to get their heads back together. Melbourne, they've been down for 4 weeks. They've had a lot of time to think about it, and they're here to play, and right now they're going like winners.
And Walsh 14 possessions and Uze 11, all off half-backs, been where they've set the drive up.
And they've been belted through the middle since about the 15-minute mark of the quarter. They've been absolutely flogged in those loose ball situations, and that's got nothing to do with the bloke who's sitting up on the grandstand, Lance Whitten.
Still a long time to go, even in this quarter, and certainly in the match, so a lot of time for Carlton to get their act together.
It was this time in the first quarter that Carlton last scored a goal. The 18-minute mark. Swartz trying to invent something then. Walsh for possession number 15. Kick was poor, turned it over. Carlton might be able to make them pay here. Ratton's kick, intercepted on occasion by Williams. Hickmott to Ratner, squeezed the kick out. Williams was here again. He's done all right so far. Kick only went as far as Beaumont.
Gee, there's been a lot of players slipping over today, hasn't there? Again.
Kick to McKenna. Kuda's on. He's in a lot of space, Kuda. Silvani will find him. And just in the end goes the second option. Probably wasn't the right one. The free kick's there. Advantage rule play. This will be interesting if he misses. He doesn't miss, though. It's a goal to Kuda.
He's the man, isn't he? He's the one that can turn it on for them, and whilst he was just on the end of that one as Troy Simmons and Porter comes from the ground, he's the bloke that can kick half a dozen goals to get them back into this match and maybe even win it. But have a look at this. He knows that he's got support behind, so he just moves away and leaves it for Hickmott. It was a 2-on-1, and finally they get one.
So finally they have kicked a goal.
Swartz limping.
10-4 plays 6-2 now at Optus Oval. Been a terrific effort by Melbourne this afternoon. Great thump out of the middle by White. And the Blues flicking it around and using it well. Silvani wide for Hickmott. Bit of a shove from Broadbridge.
Been all right though, Broadbridge. He did get the free kick away, but had a good first quarter when they were under fire, and he's continued it on. As is Sauce. He's trying to lift his club.
Goes very wide, Silvani. Lappin ran out of space. Good tackling from Daniel Ward. And the ball out of bounds. Don't forget all the latest on the AFL. As soon as the game ends, you'll see all the ladder and tribunal reports and so forth. i7sport.com.au. Blues in attack. White. Still in dangerous territory though. Quick kick from Lappin across the body. Pushing Merrington. And well done, Nicholson ensured the behind was the result of that. So 10-4 plays 6-3 now here at Optus Oval.
Been important, Nicholson, Jared.
Yes, he hasn't done a lot wrong. He hasn't had a lot of possessions, but he's going all right.
Kick in from the Demons. Good kick at the back to Scotty Thompson, who takes the mark. Just onto the ground. Kick was poor, but just found the man inside the line. Williams. He's had a little bit of the football himself, Luke Williams. It's his 5th kick. Robertson with a big fly. Hang time was high. Couldn't take the mark. Manson to Fletcher. Handball off again towards Beaumont. To Bradley. They just lifted their intensity a bit here, Carlton, in a sense. Kick towards half forward into space. Only as far as Williams. He's the first man on the scene. Did pretty well to butter up to White, who's having an impact. And his kick found Phoebe. Handball over the top was good to Ward. Steadies up now and uses the men on the overlap in Wheatley. He's such a probing kick, Wheatley. This time goes on his left to a 2-on-1 contest. Bruce was at the fore of the football. Good handball into space to Ward, who chipped it in hope. And Freeborn read it better than Robertson. The idea was right. But Freeborn read it too well and took the mark. Handball to Christou. This will be his first kick. This will be the first woof of the day. There it goes around Optus Oval. Towards Kuda, but Neitz did pretty well, took the mark. Kick over the top to Green. His goal kicking's been brought into question today by Anthony Hudson. Kick inside 50 to Robertson. Free kick surely. Surely a free kick. Incredibly not. Play almost stopped in expectation of a free kick. And Merrington's taken the mark for the Blues. How wasn't that a free kick to Russell Robertson?
Well, we might get a chance to have another look at it. I'm not sure it was quite as decisive as we thought, but we might get another chance here. Here we go.
Well, he fell on him. Simple as that. Got him high there and then landed in his back. and on his head. How was that not in the back?
Yeah, it was close to a free kick on reflection. 10-4 to 6-3. And the ball again over the line and out of bounds. So Kuta Phoebes, we've seen him come in and kick a goal in this quarter. 11 possessions for Kuta. Camporelli's had 16 for the Blues, 15 for Ratton, 12 Hickmott, 13 for Silvani, and 11 for Beaumont have been the major possession winners for the Blues. Oh, that handball went straight to Houghton from Farmer. Could have been a free to Walsh for tackling, not paid. McKay, and they start to work it well and build up. Camporelli delayed it for as long as he could. Bradley had to give it back. They're under pressure still through the midfield. Beaumont, the mark paid, looks up. He's got Hickmott away to his right, and Hickmott could kick a goal from there. He just delayed the kick and swung it inboard in the end, looking for Merrington. This is Uze. Hasn't had as much of the footy as he normally would have. His kick went wide. He still had 12 possessions though. Camporelli into the pocket, and good spoil at the last minute. Swartz steady. White over the top. Broadbridge back to White. He kept on running. He had to kick quickly. Man is James McDonald, who breaks clear. He's got Walsh in front of him. He can go all the way to 50. He can just break this tackle. He got through. He got through Walsh. He can load it and kick a low, long goal. And what an important one it is for the Demons. And he's been terrific, Peter Walsh. 16 possessions, and now that goal, which reinstates the 5-goal lead.
Well, his rebound's been important, Hutto, but he's also running through the middle and creating offensively. He's not sitting back off the pack, playing almost as an extra midfielder and finding some space. Doesn't he just back himself? And what a terrific kick in the end. Kicking's been the area of the game he's had to work on. And a terrific effort from Peter Walsh. So the Demons by 31 points. Who would have thought at the start of the game the Demons could do this? White, gee, he's been prominent today. Had a big game, Jeff White. And the bouncing, may I say, has been fantastic since Gerard's early tirade, particularly from umpire John Harvey, who's been terrific. White. Liam Shelley squeezes a kick towards centre half forward. Good chance here for Robertson. Just worked it forward to his team's advantage. Ward, good vision over the top. Terrific stuff. Williams can kick it on the one.
This is amazing, isn't it?
This is an onslaught from the Demons. They've kicked 5 goals in this quarter. And significantly, they have kicked 9 of the last 10 in this game. Melbourne are shell-shocked. Gerard Healy can't believe it.
Speechless.
He's speechless, Gerard Healy.
12-4 plays 6-3 at Optus Oval. Still a long way to go, but an upset certainly on the cards at this early stage before half-time. Camporelli gets them back to 50. Okuda has kicked 1 goal in the quarter. Thinks it might be time for another. Lappin, made it tough for Lappin in the end.
What can they do, Gerard, to get back in this game, Carlton? Maybe Beaumont forward, perhaps Kuta on the ball permanently?
Well, I think that Kuta's got to stay near the goals, but Beaumont forward certainly is one. But structural changes are totally irrelevant to this match. It is attitude. And Carlton have come here, they're lackadaisical, they're lethargic, and the Demons are the complete opposite. They're at the ball, they're aggressive, they're vigorous, and if it continues like this, well, Melbourne will win by 10 goals. But if Carlton could get their act together mentally at half-time and stop this bloke who's just been a fantastic supply of football for Melbourne all day, well, then we may have a match on our hands again.
That wasn't his best kick, Walsh, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. But, geez, decision-making has been good.
It's been excellent.
And his toughness has certainly been the most important thing for the Demons this afternoon. He's had 8 kicks and 9 handballs, kicked that important goal. 12-4 plays 6-3 as we close in on half-time. Melbourne with that 6-goal margin. Swartz couldn't break clear. McKay was able to, and his handball was good. It gave the run for Hume, and he was run down by Whelan, who could have been rewarded. A handball back from Koutafidis. Camporelli smother.
Look at this.
There's another hard thing. Williams gets it forward. Here's the whiz again. Farmer too far out to score a goal, but he's got quite a few teammates rushing past. He might go long for Robertson. The aerobic man, he's back at it again. Takes the mark.
He's got White jumping down by himself.
Yeah, he has. White, and he can take the mark easily and should go back and kick another goal. And that would really rub it into the Blues in on half-time.
We could never write the Blues off at Optus Oval, but right now, Melbourne are just going that much like winners. It's impossible to see how the Carlton can get back into this match.
And Jeff White certainly taking his time. Umpire's blowing time back on, so the clock counting down.
The work rate of Carlton, I'm sure, will be the biggest topic of discussion. It may well be a one-sided discussion. Wayne Britton doing all the talking, but you'd expect some of the senior players also to not only be geeing themselves up, but getting around and trying to get something positive happening amongst the teammates.
And White's kick is not the best. He's only kicked the 1 goal for the year so far. And that doesn't change. 12-5 plays 6-3.
Bradley to bring the ball back in for the Blues. Crowd's a little bit stunned at the moment, aren't they? Just an air of disbelief around Optus Oval. 38 points the margin. Bradley brings it in. Goes towards half-back. Again, they couldn't pinpoint someone from the kick-in. Beaumont ripped off it by Robertson. The intensity's been tremendous from the Demons. And a bounce.
13 possessions for Ward, 13 Uze, 5 Green, 5 Broadbridge, 6 from Phoebe, 7 from Brown, 8 from Williams, 7 Bruce, 10 Farmer, 12 White, 8 Leoncelli, and 17 from Walsh. So that just shows how many numbers have got. Plenty of numbers.
But it's not just the stats, though, is it? It's their body language here. It's their aggression, their gang tackling. Nicholson, another good grab there. And vice versa. Carlton, they just look lethargic.
Had a good game, Nicholson. Good kick to the hot spot at centre-half forward. Numbers. Swartz read it well. Left foot snap. Not again, surely. Minor score from the Ox. 39 points the difference. And that you would think will be the half-time score, barring an accident from the kick-in. The umpire hadn't finished blowing the flag, surely. Waving the flags. Chris Dude.
Umpire John Harvey.
Had a good day. Kick in. Mark taken by Wiggins, who's on the ground. Goes back. Strange decision, that one, to Camporelli. Good kick down the end to Mansfield, who'll take the mark in space. Last roll of the dice for the Blues. Only seconds remaining on the clock. Almost a free kick. Siren sounds to beat Merrington. And to beat the Blues as half-time arrives with a 39-point difference in this game. Melbourne kicked 7 goals in the first term and 5 goals in the second. The Carlton's 1. They kicked 9 of the last 10 and have dominated this contest and led by 39 points against all odds at half-time. What about that for an upset on Saturday afternoon football? 39 points the difference.
Well, they've got an excellent record against Carlton. They've won 5 out of the last 7, the Demons. Maybe, well, they are certainly on target to do it again. We'll be back shortly at Optus Oval.
If you were up to no good overseas, would you be dumb enough to write it in your diary? This guy would. What shocking secrets will they discover that'll make them do this?
Now turn around and face me, thanks. Just remove your underwear.
New Border Patrol, Sunday 7:30. Then.
What happened to this little koala that could happen to any one of us? How will they save his fragile little life? New Outback Wildlife Rescue, Sunday.
I believe that as you grow a little wiser in life, you want to give something back to your community. That's why I like the Lions. They're people who've got together in just about every town and city in Australia to help others.
I always respond to Lions because they're the salt of the earth. These are the people, the backbone of this nation. They're people who sacrifice for the community, and I just think we need to be inspired by them.
Lions finds ways to help in an amazing variety of ways, whether by raising money for medical research, youth leadership, bushfire relief, rescuing people at sea, activities for older people.
But we're also passionate about wanting to help and do other things, but we want to have fun in doing so, which is why I can enjoy being a Lion.
If you are feeling like giving something back in life, why not join your local Lions Club?
My dad is Santa Claus.
Tim Allen is the original Secret Santa.
Santa fell off the roof. Your roof. You read the card, you put on the suits, and now you're Santa, okay?
This year, Christmas is extra special.
Does this look like a little weight to you?
Tonight, the big guy's on his way.
Have you ever seen a reindeer fly?
Yes.
Hop aboard the most magical adventure of all.
Elves with attitude.
The Santa Claus.
It's time for moving. It's time for changing. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time for freedom. Time for laughter. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time for living. Time for sharing. It's time for more. Yes, it's time. Time for better days to be. It's time for more. Yes, it's time. Time for moving. Time for loving. It's time for more. Yes, it's time. Time for better days to be. It's time. Yes, 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 it's time. Mr. Jerry Seinfeld. It's time for more. Yes, it's time. Time for better days to be. It's time. Yes, it's time. Yes, it's time.
So the third quarter underway here at Optus Oval. Immediately a free kick.
Yeah, it's played against Jeff
snapped,
Farmer,
yeah.
which was fortunate because it was a dud bounce again from the umpire, which favoured.
Now, I saw Peter
Sidearm.
Carey at half-time. He wants to take you to task. He reckons that the centre is especially soft today. There's been real problems with it. They're having a real effort
Throw the
getting it
ball
up.
up.
Yes, good response to that. Here's Houlihan. Quick kick. Hickmott in good position. Should be able to mark easing off Walsh, and he did it really well. Excellent mark to Adrian Hickmott. He was in position, but he ensured that he was going to take it with good body work.
Peter Carey wasn't obviously at the MCG last week where there was a couple of spatterings of rain and the umpires elected to throw the ball up. I mean, if you can't bounce it, throw it up, make it even.
Here's Hickmott. He's pushed it away a bit to the right. They like it behind the goals, and so does the goal umpire. So importantly, from a Carlton point of view, the opening goal goes the way of Adrian Hickmott and the Blues.
Well, that was a mongrel if you've ever seen it, but it was effective because at ground level they mopped it up. Merrington doing particularly well there.
Houlihan's first kick. The mark dropped by Nicholson was significant, wasn't it?
It did move off the seam though.
So renewed hope for the Blues at Optus Oval. They get the first inside a minute in the third term. White won it beautifully to Stephen Phoebe. Kick towards half forward. All the numbers with the Demons. Big fly at the back from Franchina. The Blues have gone up a cog here also. Working it forward. Williams did pretty well. Handball out. Called a throw. Play on, said the umpire. Koutafidis towards Merrington, and Houghton in the box seat. Takes it. Lappin on the spill. Can he get a quick handball away to Merrington? Had numbers the other way. Instead went for Houghton. He can get it on to Camberelli, who's free. Handball over the back. Beautifully read by Ward. And he'll go for the solace of the boundary line. Kick was precision towards touch. just dribbles over in front of James McDonald for a throw in.
Just had a look at that bounce. Hutchie, we won't labour the point too much further, but they did bounce it actually on the centre circle line. They didn't go into the middle of the centre, so there's a bit of a green patch there, a bit of a tuft of resodded turf. So they've moved outside of it, and it was a pretty fair bounce.
Ward, another kick for him today at 10 in the first half. Silvani did well to keep the ball moving forward because there was numbers the other way. Really good stuff from him in and under. Did well, took the contest. McKay, handball out the back towards Porter, stripped to the football. The Blues are having a crack here. Camporelli's handball was good. Again to assume with pace. Runs to 45. Should kick a goal. 2 in 2 minutes to the Blues. No touch on the line. Good hand there from, I think it was Uze, right on the line. Whelan it was, with the long sleeves on also today.
Geez, it was a line ball decision, wasn't it? He did, Darren Hume ended up ignoring a couple of teammates. It's the right thing, but he had to kick that through. The ball only travelled 40-odd metres. Let's have a look how close the line it was. It looked very, very close.
They always err on the side of conservatism, goal umpires,
yeah,
don't
I
they?
think the benefit of the doubt went to the defender.
It was a very interesting one last week too. Here's Whelan running and sending it long. Needs the target. McDonald in support. He worked it to him, but he just missed him, in fact. And in the end, Porter was a bit slow to move it on, but it works out okay for the Blues. Hume gets another chance. He's got Hickman away to the left. He takes on McDonald. He was legged, so he should have got a free kick, really. Leoncelli swamped. Houghton had it stripped. Brilliantly done by Uze, and they find the boundary line. Well, the Blues a little unlucky there. Hickman and Leoncelli just a few friendly exchanges, sharing a joke. 12-6 plays 7-4. So Melbourne under a bit of siege here early in this second half. Porter getting it down. Leoncelli, free kick. It's going Carlton's way off
the footy. It's off the footy, I reckon. No, it's on the footy.
Goes to Kuda.
I think Lappin thought he had it.
Houghton thought he had it, but it's actually Kuda-Fides.
Ward and Camporelli also having a bit of a dust-up.
Go back and kick the goal.
The umpire rightly not paying 50 there.
Well, it's not surprising to see the Blues come out fired up. They conceded in the first half, which is most unlike this group of players. And I think they would have been told as much at half-time. So the pride's being stung. Whether or not they're good enough to come back is something we're going to wait and see as Kuda unloads from 45 metres out. And he's just dragged it to the left.
Just behind the stick, or behind. Let's have another look at the, see if we can pick out the infringement.
Just Neats grabbing him by the right arm.
That was about as soft as it gets. Walsh pushing up along the wing. He's got Wheatley in support on his inside. He went down.
Did well.
He did get well to release the handball. And runners for Wheatley as well. McDonald on the inside. Phoebe doing the shepherding. Wheatley taking his chance and then setting it up for Green at full forward. Farmer stayed down. Green couldn't take it. Free kick
to Jeffrey.
It's a free kick. Advantage not paid. I think it must be Green's kick, is it?
It should be Farmer's.
His Farmer got pushed out of the contest completely. It is his kick.
It is his kick.
Just the one goal today from the Wizard, but had 10 possessions and been lively.
That was, we just missed it left of screen. Franchini taking Farmer out. And that was the free kick. And here he comes. Really important kick for the Demons. It swings back okay. It's through the middle. So Farmer and Melbourne getting the answering goal.
Good response, wasn't it? Carlton have had 2 or 3 opportunities to kick goals and they didn't. So have a look at Glenn Mant running around the boundary line, along with Jimmy Plunkett and Michael Mansfield. So they may be one player short with an injury. But a good response by the Demons. And Jeffrey Farmer here will have a better look at a Franchina undisciplined.
So the Demons answer. And the margin again, 37 points at Optus Oval. Good bounce that time. Bouncing's been terrific for mine today. Ratton out the back. Peter Carey, the umpire's advisor here today.
He's here for marking.
Done well.
He's a marking specialist.
Ratton, he reckons his was better than Moorcroft's and Tarrant's. Out the back again. Wheatley. Neats. towards half-back. Good kick to Whelan, who takes the mark. Just starting to run into the game a little bit now, Whelan. Quiet in the first half. Well, they did some good defensive things. Here's Liam Chally. Goes to the outside towards Ward, who takes him on. Been impressive today. Kicks inside 50 towards. Oh, almost had enough on it for Green. Couldn't take it. Again at the back was Chris Dew. Handball again, and knew Stilvani would be there. Did well, and they break through Houlihan. Towards half-back, good kick. And Houghton made the extra territory to take the mark.
Hickmott's the worry.
Hickmott's on. Good call. Houlihan will get the handball. Takes it now. Measures it up towards half-forward. Lappin had too much on it. Uze backed himself. Ran underneath the football, but went again, did well. Got a handball away in the end. But Carlton can get it going. Houlihan, he's very good from here from 50. Open goal square. Should be a goal. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Goal.
Put down a stutter there for a minute, Hutchie. I'm sure that only bounced once, but nevertheless, it was an outstanding passage of play, and I think it was Hume that won the ball back at ground level to set it up. So he makes up for that missed goal. They just overran the footy, and this one here from Uze, he just got it away, and it was Ratton that got it out. And let's have a look at this as it BBBBB bounces once, twice. Goal.
13-6 against 8-5. So again, Carlton counter-attacking. Porter got the tack clear for Ratton, looping it. This is Houlihan emerging at centre-half forward. Nothing but Melbourne jumpers in his way. Good hands from McKay under the pressure he was under, but up to it McDonald and Uze. Oh, commitment was great from Williams. Good hands from the Blues though. Allows Lappin a high kick. Hickmott is the spare man, and he got to the front. Broadbridge.
Oh, cool.
Too cool. Free kick.
No wonder.
Well, the long kick in bypassed 2 or 3 spare players for the Blues 40 metres out from goal. We won't go back about that first bounce to Porter, but
Neitz is on.
He's on and off.
And that wasn't a good kick from Broadbridge. He did have Neitz on his own on the wing. Phoebe tries to get it to Neitz, who is still standing on his own, but the kick didn't carry as far as it should have. Ratton able to bring Bradley into the game for one of the few times today. This is Merrington now as the Blues come through centre-half forward. Camporelli took all his allotted time and kicked beautifully for Lappin. And Uze fell right in his back, and the umpire comes in, blows
50.
the whistle and says,
no,
stay there.
Bit undisciplined there, Uze.
Well, he got away with it, so he'd be happy.
Just hurt himself a little bit, I think, too.
Let's have another look at it. It was a great kick from Camporelli. He had Koutafidis and the young man, and
just a little extra bit of attention, wasn't there?
Had to be 50.
So he went to the ground.
Had to be 50. It was a push in the back. There was another free kick there.
Big kick here for Lappin, and they miss again away to the left. So Carlton's chances going begging early in this third quarter. They have kicked a couple, but 13-6 up against 8-6.
And can just quell a bit of your momentum, those behinds, can't they? Really take the wind out of your sails.
We saw the third quarter last week in a Carlton match. Sydney had about 5 or 6 behinds in a row, and eventually they managed to find the ball through the middle and went up to win the game, but they wasted a lot of opportunities.
Walsh goes for White. The target, the back flies, takes the mark, growing in confidence today. And has pleased Jared Healy with his work rate today, Jeff White.
Well, we know he's a very talented player. All he's got to do is add the work rate, and the results come. He has had a couple of injuries that haven't been discussed all that much this season, but he's been out there.
Ward, Stephen Phoebe towards half forward. Robertson got a good little gift to Wheatley, who loves to take them on. Does well, has a bounce, tries to get it off. He's a good kick, goes that way instead with the left foot to the goal square. Christou at the back. No one there to pickpocket for the Demons. And Hume was ripped of the football load from Farmer. Chance. Farmer goes again. Work was terrific. Snap from the boundary line from the impossible angle was just that. Out of bounds on the full.
Gee, Darrow, out on the full it is, but Ange Christou was very lucky not to get a free kick away. He did scrag him, and Darren Hume, well, he had the whole of the field open to him, but he was just so slow in getting rid of the footy that the Blues were under pressure again.
Took it away too easily then, Christou towards half-back. Lappin got a handball outside towards Camporelli. Rare fumble from him. He's had 25 possessions, 20 kicks, and can afford a rare blemish, but at this stage of the game, it wasn't what the Blues needed. The margin, 30 points.
Great piece of work by Porter, though, to push the ball their way. But despite the fact that they've responded well, the Blues, I reckon Melbourne are holding up really well. They've had the ball in their forward line for shots at goal.
Bradley Got a handball away to Silvani. They've combined well today. Houlihan runs for the overlap, ran to the perfect position and has a chance to set something up. White's dropped back, so had to go short to Hickmott and did well to spot him up. And a chance on the other side of the ground here. I think it's Wiggins, who's made terrific position, should take the mark, and the youngster does.
Great running from the Wig. He has run from the back pocket all the way through. He got in behind Silvani. Silvani ignored him. He kept on going. This kid can play. Cole Kinnear, their football manager, is a real rap for this young bloke. And he really did get a move on.
Okay, so Simon Wiggins, or the Wig, as he's been dubbed by Gerard Healy. Kicks for goal and kicks a beauty. The Wig.
What a hair raiser. It might be his first goal in footy, Hutto, is it? He hasn't played too many games, the young man.
He kicked the goal with his first kick in league footy. There you go. That's my...
He's kicked two.
He's kicked two. Well, this is a good one for him as well. You may just see him out the side here. He is charging from the fence. No, we miss him. We go out to the other side of the ground. But a great piece of running from the Wig. And he finally gets spotted up.
So they're coming, the Blues. Margin back to 24 points. And they've kicked 3 goals to 1 in this third quarter, including one for a wiggle. Out of the middle. The handball went nowhere. Ward, crunching stuff.
He's had a big quarter too, as Sos Silvani. He has lifted this.
Advantage not paid. Tudu was taking it away. Silvani said 16.
Beaumont's ducked out on his left. We can't pick him up. He may run onto the footy though.
He won't, because Walsh stands up and takes his 4th mark of the day and comes in for his 22nd possession. Goes very wide, and good work from Robertson to run all the way up the ground and take the mark, covering a lot of territory.
Risky option, wasn't it?
It was, for not a great deal of value. Bruce is behind, and he just fumbled it. Camporelli had the chance. Cameron Bruce. Camporelli, oh, not a great kick. Lappin worked hard for it. Good pressure from Neitz on Koutafidis. Beaumont, handball straight to Ratton, who was being harassed, and the Demons can get it forward. Wheatley thumps it out wide. Will it stay in? It does just. Ferruzzo, who's pushed forward, keeps it low. Oh, good crack from Farmer. Centimetres above the ground. And this is a big kick, and he plays on. Kicks it for Liam Shelley, who would have strolled in.
That's a ridiculous rule, this. It just needs tightening up, this rule. It restricts the player running on. I mean, all the defender has to do is mark the mark.
Been working particularly well for 50 years.
Well, I can't see how does it work particularly well. It always is a problem. Why can't Farmer run to his own advantage here?
Because the umpire has blown time on.
I'm saying he should. Why does he need to blow time on?
Because he's going to go back and line up for goal. He's got to get him on the right.
Well, he obviously wasn't going to get. He played on.
Meantime, Farmer goes short, and Simmons takes the mark. Still a pretty tight angle, and he's just a little bit closer to goal. So Troy Simmons. The boys have gone out the back, and they'll be back shortly.
Just gone to consult Peter Carey.
Hasn't kicked a goal this year, Troy Simmons, just the 2 behinds. Looks like he's going straight at the goals, not wheeling around at all, and he kicks straight and puts it through for a goal. It's back to a 5-goal ball game. Important goal for the Demons, that one.
Yeah, it was a good reply, and it all came from down across the half-back line when Whelan took a huge grab and worked it through Robertson, the aerobic man. And finally it got to this man here. Sun shining here at Optus.
Certainly is. The sun is out at Optus Oval, covering about 3/4 of the ground for the first time for about a quarter and a half, I reckon. Bounce, Liancelli, who's really improved today. Kick towards half forward. Beaumont reads it pretty well and has taken a pretty unique mark. I think he held that behind the back in the end. The pie man, Simon Beaumont, has taken the mark. Kick towards centre half, back to Silvani. Getting plenty of the football in general play today. Sauce, 17 possessions. Ends up with McKay towards half forward. Broadbridge on his own. Didn't really pick it up, I think, with the soccer skills in the end. He's pretty cool and across as Broadbridge. Towards half back. Green in front takes a good mark. Might be having a run on the balls. We've seen him do in the last couple of weeks, Green. Towards centre wing. The target was Neitz. In the end, it was Williams who takes the mark. Pretty impressive, Luke Williams. Kick towards half forward. Schwartz in front. Takes it in front of Silvani.
Bursting into the goal square is aerobics.
Kick towards that man and just got enough on it. And it was Bruce who found it. Very lucky in the end. Camberelli went to ground. And this could bring the margin back to 36 points. So for all their endeavour and all their initiative, Carlton, they won't have made any inroads on the lead after this kick. And that could tell the tale of the day. The shocking kick, wasn't it, from Schwartz? Didn't spin right at any stage. But it was effective. And Bruce should put the finish on it. And he does. Another one to the Demons. Bruce has got 2.
And the lead goes back to 36 points, 6 straight goals. And Melbourne have been able to respond. They've been able to withstand the challenge of Carlton. It's a matter of now whether Carlton can keep the challenge going. They're playing better footy, but Melbourne have also been able to score.
Demons by 36 at Optus Oval, midway through the third quarter. So the Blues have barely made any inroads at all in this third quarter, as it stands at the moment. Neitz, 2 21s, and the skipper, Bradley, winning out. Want to move it quickly out wide, bringing Koutafidis into the game again on the overlap. This is Hickmott. He looks deep. Merrington the target there. Broadbridge and Simmons pushing back to help out. As the ball hits the ground, it's all Melbourne. Much quicker to get to their feet. A bit of a fumble initially. Then Godfrey, the ball over the line and out of bounds. Brett Ratton continuing to mount up the possessions today. 19 of them, 8 and 11. 4 marks.
Good effort from Ratton, wasn't it? But
4 tackles too.
I had 3 there. You would have thought a bit more Shepherd. He might have been the order of the day.
Simmons doing the ruck work this time against young Merrington. Simmons conclusively wins the tap. Nicholson pushed as he kicked it, but got enough on it to get it outside 50. Only as far as Houghton, though. He's got leads galore coming, but it's a pretty packed forward 50 for the Blues. Bradley, there's a bit of space in front of him. He thought about the little pass into Beaumont. Merrington leads to about 40 out from goal.
Koutafidis has gone quiet this quarter.
Centering it for Houghton again. We saw him kick a remarkable goal last week that bounced every which way. That's not as good at the kick. Robertson got back to get hands on it. Nicholson shoveled it. Godfrey under pressure. He should have known Ratton was close by. He always is. Freeborn, quick kick. Excellent kick from Freeborn right to the line. Hit the post, did it? Eventually, no. It hit the behind post. And we'll see a throw in.
There we see, looks like Walsh on, no, it's Plunkett, sorry. The runner got in the way there. Timmy Plunkett, the redhead from Carlton, as opposed to Walsh, the dominant player from Melbourne. Throw in. Rappin. Forward the football. Kicks to the top of the square. Kicks it pretty well. What about that? Almost a goal. Houlihan tried to claim it, but surely it's behind. To Matthew Lappin. He's kicked 1-3 today. 35 points. A pretty quiet crowd here this afternoon at Optus Oval.
Well, there's one way to shut them up, isn't there? Kick lots of goals against their team.
Thank you, Anthony. Wheatley to kick it in. Anthony's book, Stating the Bleeding Obvious, will be out very soon in time for Father's Day. Wheatley's kick towards centre half back. Nicholson couldn't take it. Houghton was there also. Over the back was Simmons. Good chance here for Walsh. Takes them on, keeps running. Should get a kick off now. He's hot. Kicks inside 50 to a contest in the end. Green trying to take the free kick, wasn't there. Bruce over the back, centering kick towards full forward. Robertson, will it sit? Bradley was all over him like a rash. Did beautifully, bottled him up. And I reckon we'll have a ball up. No, they just clear it away again shortly. The Blues towards half back through Franchina. The kick's going to land with Merrington. Was pretty lucky. Merrington did well, kick towards half forward. Mansfield took it on the run, did pretty well, and takes it at half forward for the Blues. Lappin will be the target, goes for him now. They converge on him. Whelan got there first and dropped the sitter. Hume's handball was cut off.
Free kick. It's coming back for Carlton. It's a bit of a lucky one.
Jeez, it was lucky because the Demons had numbers back and they were just charging away with the football with Ward. And Darren Hume has a chance to make amends for that one that he just didn't quite get over the line early in the piece when the Blues had all the momentum. Let's have a look at it. Poor mark, should have been snaffled. And there it is, maybe just a bit too high.
Hume goes short to Camberelli, who takes the mark. So Camberelli, 45 out. At 21 kicks, 5 marks, 5 handballs, and kicked 1 goal, 3. Efficiency, 77%. And will figure prominently in this year's Brownlow medal, you would suspect, after the season that he has had. Important kick for the Blues if they're to win this game, if there'll be any chance coming into three-quarter time. Good measured kick, goal. Important one, that for the Blues. They're still alive at Optus. It's his first goal, Camberelli. And an important one. The margin down 29 points. So you'd think there's enough time for the Blues, but they really need to get the next 1 or 2. Next has gone to the centre on Koutafidis. And they're going to have a real crack here, the Blues, before three-quarter time.
10-7 to 15-6. Simmons still doing the ruck work. Got the tap down cleanly to Wheatley, who's been pretty good for them this afternoon. 8 possessions, and it wasn't a clean one that time. Bradley mowed down by Walsh. Again, he has a big effect on the game. That's in the back. Free kick, but all plaudits to Peter Walsh.
Just got too much pace. Craig Bradley get past 80% of AFL footballers, but not Peter Walsh.
Liancelli, then his kick had to be right on its mark, and it was. Ward now running with Koutafidis through the midfield. It's got McDonald pushing forward, James McDonald. He could look it over too, but he decides the umpire straightens him up that he might go for something a bit longer. He just sets it up. Wants Swartz to come into the action. He's surrounded by Blues, Swartz, and in the end, it probably wasn't the greatest of options.
No, their strength today is their pace, Melbourne. They've got all the runners. And to stick it up in the air is just putting it into the Blues attacking areas.
Here's Jimmy Plunkett.
Couta's by himself again, but he's just not running all that much through the lines.
Clever kick from Bradley, just changed his mind at the last minute. Mansfield could have gone to Couta, went longer to Lappin and just gave time for Uze to get in and get the fingernails to it and worked it over the line and out of bounds, and Mansfield will be disappointed with his choice.
Yeah, it's just bad vision. He mustn't have seen him. He was going wheeling around for the big one. And good defensive stuff there by Adam Uze.
He's had 16 possessions, Uze. Lappin's had 17. So it's been an interesting battle. Lappin, though, with 1 goal, 3, and I guess that's the bottom line. Again, Walsh, this time as a ruckman and a rover. He can do it all, Peter Walsh. And now the umpire's going to have to bounce it. Camperelli, 27 possessions for the Blues, 18 for Hickmott, 18 Silvani, 15 for Beaumont. Uze, as we said, 16, and Ward, 19 for Melbourne, 13 for Jeff White, along with Walsh's basket of 21. Oh, Houlihan, brilliantly done. Unfortunately, the kick just lets him down ever so slightly. It was swinging back, but not the result the Blues needed. 10-8, though. They're threatening, aren't they, as we get closer to three-quarter time? I think Melbourne are down by the look on the faces in the coaching box. 28 points is the margin now.
Wheatley short to Liancelli.
I think they've got to get another 1 or 2, Carlton, if they're going to challenge.
Couta over the back, spoils Uze, who appeared to be a good option and a chance for the Blues here. Bradley bangs it in. All the numbers with the Blues. Mansfield at the back was the 3rd man up. Hickmott in also. Houlihan took his own man out, and it came to James McDonald, and the Demons break. And they've got numbers on this side of the ground. If it sits for Simmons, it won't sit.
Geez, they've wasted some footy inside the forward 50 today, Carlton, and all the numbers there. And it's just not working for them. That time Mansfield came in, tried to take a big specky. Crum went to Houlihan. He looked up and missed the footy. Just blowing opportunity after opportunity, and they may run out of time.
Lappin. Hamill at the back towards Bradley. Hume was mowed down from behind. Hamill turned over. Well done, Stephen Phoebe. Got the handball inside. It was important. Ward can keep running. Gives the handball to Farmer. He lines him up. His eyes light up from 50. Kicks. Another goal. The Wizard, the big salute, he's kicked his third, and the Demons charge into three-quarter time with all the momentum.
Well, Darren Hume, once again, he's been mowed down from behind. He just has not, he hasn't had a great day in that regard, has Humey. He has really just turned it over a couple of times. And there it is again, just not reacting to the pace and the intensity of the game. And I guess it's reflective that they came into this match not absolutely primed mentally. And Melbourne have just been absolutely brilliant. Fantastic.
The inside 50s, Jared, just to follow up what you said, Carlton 41, Melbourne 36.
Yeah, wasteful. Just haven't got their act together down forward at the moment.
16-6 against 10-8 Ratton, still working overtime and giving them a chance. Hume accepted from Camporelli, sets it up. Look at Manton, look at Fletcher, tried to get to the front. It almost found its way through. It did to Fletcher, and Simon Fletcher kicks a wobbling goal. It was a cheap goal in the end, in a way for the Blues, and one that could hurt the Demons in the long run. He got through and got it onto the boot, and you must give him credit for that.
And this time was Hume. He just sat it up rather than looking for the goal himself. It just came out the back, and it was really a miss kick. A decent kick would have been smothered, and the miss kick went underneath the smother, and through she went.
So Carlton won't lie down. They've had a 5-goal quarter to Melbourne's 4, outscored them, just to give them a glimmer of hope coming into the final term. And their wastefulness has been the key thing, as Jared Hillier said on a number of occasions. Here's Liancelli bursting from the pack. They've been really pleased with his return to form, but they bangs it to full forward. Farmer at the back, Robertson, Franchina first man on. And had tired legs, but conceded the behind. And a chance for Carlton to set themselves up here. There's still 3 minutes left on the clock. Short kick, almost cut off, but McKay took the mark. The ever reliable 31-year-old, or 32 today is in fact. Andrew McKay, so happy birthday. Kick to half-back. Didn't hit his target. Franchina worked Farmer under the football and then just fisted it back towards Christou. Franchina again got it to Christou. Pretty sloppy passage to play that. And it ends with Christou over the fence.
Well, champagne football was millionaire stuff. They were just trying to flirt with the Melbourne players, and maybe they didn't show them the respect coming in.
Harlem Globetrotters, like.
Yep, their tenacity, though, has just brought a lot of those types of handballs down, though.
Simmons won the hit out to Ward again.
Downfield.
Might feature in Jared Hilly's votes today, Ward. And he's downfield. And it will go to Robertson.
Just a swinging arm of Steve Silvani dragged him down after he got rid of the ball.
Now his kicking's either brilliant or it's off, Russell Robertson. What is it today? He goes for the goal square instead, to a 2-on-1. At the back, great mark to Bruce. What happened there to the Carlton defence? They had the numbers, and the two numbers they had were senior experienced players, Beaumont and McKay. Cameron Bruce was too good for both of them, hustled them under the football and took the mark. Kick 2. This will be a big one right on three-quarter time for the Demons. Runs around and kicks a behind.
Five goals the margin then as we get close to three-quarter time at Optus Oval. 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Stunning reversal of form for Melbourne this afternoon. They trailed by 2 goals midway through the opening quarter, but then kicked 9 of the next 10 to really give themselves a big chance in this match. At the moment, they lead by 5. They've been under pressure by Carlton in this third quarter, but the Blues haven't been able to turn their opportunities into goals. Can they do it this time as Houghton sends them around the wing? Koutafidis takes the mark. He's coming in for his 19th possession. Been manned up by Neeks for almost all of the day. He's had 10 possessions. Fletcher working hard, takes the mark. The Blues still with plenty of time to kick a goal here. Lappin's down the forward line, so is Mansfield. They try and create some space for Lappin at the back. He waits down at the back. The ball doesn't go there. It goes to Bradley instead. Ratton from 50 sets it up with a pass, and he's inside 50 when he takes the mark. Silvani, oh, he played on and kicked quickly. He'll cover the distance, no worries. And Manton lets it go through for a goal. So Carlton do get another goal back just before three-quarter time. So they have made some progress after all in this third quarter.
And they had 6 individual goal kickers this quarter, Hutto, which I guess just exemplifies what we said at the start of the match. They don't rely on one particular forward. They throw them all around, and here we have Steve Silvani working down, who, along with the Whig, has kicked a goal as a defender this quarter.
And Jared Healy would know a lot about wigs, know about that. A minute to go in the third term. It's been playful, Jared. Don't hit me again.
Just resisting.
Ball up, Simmons. Kuda Fedes bangs it inside. It's an important couple of minutes for the Blues, but they can pinch one at the back. Melbourne's defence suddenly just looks under siege. Freeborn couldn't get it out. They've got to bottle it up, the Demons. Another chance for the Blues. Here's Lapman. Can he kick one the outside of the foot? No, out of bounds on the full.
He went for the outside, but he hit it with the inside.
Trying to invent something.
Jeez, it was a good passage of play. Good work from Freeborn, and then Fletcher again just ducking it out to Lappin.
Well, may they rue that goal, Mr. Bruce. The other end, because it's a 2-goal swing, and Carlton are going to go into three-quarter time with the momentum.
Thanks,
and half a sniff here. Gordon's half-back, Neats. Punched inside, 50 chance for Lappin, stripped of the football well. On the break, the Demons, there's probably still time for them to build one up here. Here's Broadbridge, who looks really calculated and cool on the
big ball.
Silvani took Neats on, did well, got all the momentum. Can they force something forward? He's stripped of the football pretty well. Neats bangs it on the boot towards half forward. It's a 2-on-1. Robertson's going to beat 2 of them here. Beaumont belted it away magnificently towards Plunkett. Wouldn't sit for him. Now it does. Takes it. Handballs inside again towards Mansfield. Siren will sound any tick of the clock, you'd think. Nicholson in front. He's been pretty reliable today. He's a maligned player, but he's done a terrific job, and they break again. Simmons, Stephen Phoebe just pumps the handball out to Swartz, and Melbourne were on a pretty good break there. And a fine line there. 24 points to margin. Carlton would think they're a chance. Melbourne would know that the game's not out of Carlton's reach. So a pretty good final term coming up.
Yes, pretty appetising what could be ahead for us here at Optus Oval in the last quarter. The Blues certainly outscoring the Demons in that quarter, and the margin now 24 points as we go to the break at three-quarter time. 16-8 plays 12-8. Big job ahead for Carlton.
This guy's a known killer.
He ate somebody?
Is he guilty or dining on someone else's dirty work?
Yummy.
Sunday 8:30. With so many clues to digest, can Stephen Fry help them uncover who the croc had for dinner? Brilliant. Bones. Sunday at 8:30. Then, why does Castle only need 32 seconds to solve a murder? Castle. Sunday after Bones.
More for me. More for me.
More for me. More for me.
More for me.
More for me.
More for me.
More for me.
Freeview is the home of the best quality TV shows and channels. And now with Freeview, you can see all these other new channels for free too.
World News Australia.
More first-run quality TV than ever before, for free. More channels, more new shows, more unique programs, more choice.
That's more for me.
More for me. More for me.
Freeview, more for free.
Taste what's on the menu this Christmas with Better Homes. Order up the hottest Christmas dinner or perhaps the coolest ice cream sanger.
Don't tell them how easy it was.
And why not turn some dead space into your very own garden oasis?
It needs next to no water, next to no maintenance. Perfect Aussie garden.
I think he wants to meet you.
Plus, Guy Sebastian reveals his favourite secret hideaway. Have a Better Homes and Gardens summer.
It's time for moving. It's time for changing. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time for freedom. Time for laughter. It's time to begin. Yes, it's time. Time
Last quarter from Optus Oval. Melbourne, 4 goals in front. Carlton with the job ahead. Good tackling from Hickmott to wrap it up.
And Trent Houghton started in the middle as the ruckman for the Blues, and Jeff White, well, he had the opportunity to smash it forward, but he miscued, and no second serve in AFL footy. But Glenn Manton is back on the ground.
Full forward, I think,
yeah. He's at full forward. He played there a fair bit in the third quarter, but he started the last quarter there as well.
Houghton favoured by the bounce, got it down, but that man, Peter Walsh, another possession, his 23rd.
Sauce has lifted since half-time.
Silvani barged his way through. Good handball from Beaumont. Hume away. Accurate with the kick too. Koutafidis. Spoiled from Broadbridge. Was a little late.
Got some spares. They've got Bradley. They've got Fletcher. Kuta could kick the distance himself. He's got Houghton running into space, and that's the option he takes.
And he just hooked it a little bit away to make sure that Houghton could take it cleanly. It'd have to be a good kick from here, but certainly he could cover that distance.
Be a good finish if he could knock this one off, because the Blues would then start really believing that they're a chance.
So Trent Houghton from right on 50. It's up and under a bit. It's going to go right to Lappin. Big leap. And the crowd roared, but they're only going to be rorted with it behind.
Adrian Hickmott obviously thinks that he got his boot on the ball. He may be able to get another close-up of it. It looked that way from here, but we're a long way away. Let's have a look. The fly. And well, the only consideration is the ball was already over the line.
Yeah. 12-9 playing, 16-8 then. Important opening couple of minutes for the Demons.
Uze brings it in. Kick wasn't accurate. Nicholson did pretty well to make the contest. All the numbers with Carlton, a couple at the back as well. Houlihan's got a few on here. Kick wasn't real good in the end. Allowed it to be cut off. He had a couple shorter then, I reckon.
Yeah, it wasn't an option.
And Uze takes the mark.
Either was that.
Just falling down a bit at the moment, the Demons. A chance again now. Here's Houghton. Runs inside. Back to Houlihan for another go. Bit of pressure in the end. Free kick. That's right. Well spotted, Hutto.
That's just an incredibly bad decision, isn't it? When they had the ball running through, shot at goal was just beckoning, and they mucked it up with a throw.
Stephen Phoebe decides to go long to a contest in the end. Neat sucks back into the hole, couldn't take it. Chance at the back though. Christo did pretty well. Rode the handle out to Beaumont. Steady in a crisis. Silvani chips inside and inboard, and some space for Jimmy Plunkett to take the mark. Goes to half forward. Lappin on a lead. Broadbridge is on him now. So a change there. Lappin belts it back inside. Did beautifully. Towards Franchina, centering kick. This is where you can turn the ball over, though. Be not careful, and they'll do so. Liancelli to Uze. Bursting through the middle. Uze has a bounce. He's got numbers on. Goes towards centre half forward to a contest again. That was a poor option. At the back, Farmer didn't sit for him. McKay did well. Handball to Hume. Released him. And Hume will go to the outer side and just hopefully find touch for the Blues supporters. No, it won't in the end, and Hickmott will take it away.
Turned out that it went to their advantage with Camperella using Plunkett. He can go again as they move it along the wing. Houlihan, he's got Fletcher loose. He uses Lappin on the way in. Fletcher's down there with Brown watching
Houlihan will get it in the square.
He goes long. Houlihan had kept on running. He kept on running. Well done, Houlihan. And he can kick the goal.
Well, it could be this boy's time, because he has threatened for 2 years to take a game by the scruff of the neck. He's just been floating along over the last few weeks, but just the way he charged into this really said something. In fact, he ran away from Whelan. Whelan, probably the only mistake he's made all day. He just didn't really pay him the respect, and now he is suffering, because his man's going to have a shot at a very important goal.
Yes, Ryan Houlihan, 17 goals for the season, but as you mentioned, Jared, he's really just come in with 2 and 3 goals in matches.
Just floating along, hasn't made a lot of improvement this season. Incredibly talented.
And he's kicked the second goal of the afternoon. And so the Blues have kicked the first one of the last quarter. It's taken them just over 4 minutes. So they're on track. 16-8 now plays. 13-9 from Optus Oval.
Well, the quicker the penny drops for Ryan Houlihan, the quicker that Carlton are going to have another match winner, another top 6 position player. He's a genuine article. He's a genuine chance to be a champion. But he's the one that's got to make him so. It won't be the players around him. It's up to him. If he does it this year, it's a bigger chance for a final.
So the D's by 17 points. And under siege, Carlton have really got a bit of a move on here at the moment. The Demons had the chance to bury them in the third. Kick came in. Christo backed his luck, did pretty well. Didn't quite sit for him. Falls out the back towards Brown. Besieged by the Blues, and they clear again through the future champion in Houlihan. Kick towards half forward, couldn't take it. Fletcher belted away, did pretty well though. He's really grown into this game as well. There's the wig, kicks to half forward. Camporelli takes it, wanted to take Wheatley on, and should have really, because he had Cooter on. He'll look for Cooter still, who's just running neats around at the moment. Now he goes for Lappin on the lead, takes it.
And 50, that's got to be 50.
It is.
I mean, that's the one that should have been played down here, and Adam didn't learn his lesson, and this time he's given it away a very damaging free kick.
Well, it's no worse than the other one.
No, that's the point.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit unfair in many ways. I'm not saying it's not there, but if you pay it at one end, if you don't pay it at one end...
Slightly worse than the other one, because it was a double movement. The other one, he wrapped him up and drove him forward rather than just giving him the big push. Critical time to give it, though, and he's going to give himself a go.
And the Blues are within 11.
Demons need the next one. It's going to be a great finish. They're not all over with yet, Melbourne. They haven't really had much footy in the middle of the ground, and they're going to have to win it from the centre bounce. They kick the next one. They get it back out to a 3-goal lead. But that was dumb from Adam Uze. He's had a great year. He's put his name up for All-Australian selection again. But they're critical errors.
To get another look at that again if we can when there's a next stop play. At the moment, 16-8 to 14-9.
You reckon it was not on, Hutto?
Well, it was line ball, I reckon. It was pretty soft. But by the rules, it was certainly there.
Well, that's all that counts.
Well, there's got to be consistency, though, about it. That's the thing. That's what there isn't. White won the tap. More important things at stake now is the match situation. 11 points the margin. Houlihan, Walsh waded through the traffic. He's been brilliant. He's trying to lift his teammates. They need to go again. Phoebe, that extra effort, kicks it high. Bruce and Christo, they've both got to go. Bruce went, but he's surrounded by Blues. Good desperation from the Carlton defence. They wrapped it up. They sat for a long time, and he's been pinged.
Bang.
The umpire was just getting ready to blow it, and he did. The quick hands. This is Nathan Brown.
They need Farmer here, don't they, to do something?
He's back in the square. Farmer, Phoebe was off. Sets up the lead. Schwartz has been edged out of it again by Silvani. He beats Farmer pretty well there, convincingly. He's got players away to his left and right. This is Fletcher as the Blues start to build off half-back. Fletcher goes short onto the wing. Bradley had a quiet day. Starting to run now, though. 15th possession is a long one. It's a strong one. Matty Lappin. We went to ground.
What a kick. What a kick. He wants to go it alone here. He's ignored a couple of options. No, he hasn't. He's found one.
He went for hot and great spoil from Broadbridge. It was a terrific spoil, and it gets the Demons just out of trouble for the time being.
Had to go first option. Had to go the first option. Let's have a look at Lappin. Hutto. Taking the mark and pushes him down, waste time, and that's why the 50 was brought in, to stop people wasting time, and I think the umpire did the right thing.
Koutafidis couldn't go anywhere. He goes again. Houlihan. Brown towards the line. He finds his target. So we've got 14 minutes remaining. We've got about 9 in this last quarter. Carlton 14-9-93. The Demons under siege 16-8-104.
Carlton since half-time have piled on 8 goals to the Demons 4. Right back in the contest. They trail by 39 points at half-time. Plunkett, kick inside 50 to a contest. Hickmott worked hard, paid for the free kick in the end. Uze went to ground. Lappin's been so busy and so instrumental. His handball didn't hit the target. Nathan Brown clears for the D's towards the centre of the ground. Robinson can work it to the forward here. Meeks didn't read the ball, the football well at all. Bradley got a handball. Beaumont kept running. Kick inside 50. Congested forward line. Uze didn't go when he had to go. Allowed Ratton in. Handball over the top to Plunkett. All the numbers with the Blues. Camporelli to the top of the goal square. Keeps going for a goal. Is it? No! Bounce over the back. Minor score. Whew. Take a breath. Carlton doing all the attacking, all the momentum. And even when they weren't winning, they had the ball inside 50 more often.
Silvani's been dragged to full back. He's really stitched up David Schwartz in the second half, and they want him away from that centre-half back position.
53 to 41 inside 50s in favour of Carlton.
Schwartz a chance though on the burst to get a mark and kick a goal.
So 10 points the difference. Neitz and White, the joint targets from the kick in. Under pressure, Ward.
He's just dropped that.
No, he's got a free kick. It's young Thompson. High tackle, the umpire said, over the shoulder. He'll take that gleefully and kick well for White, who ran up the ground. He's got options away. Running past him, but he goes longer. Luke Williams from behind. McKay stretched up. Good work, though. The Blues working hard. Robertson, McKay again. Bundling it out. This is Williams. Little tiny kick around the corner. Schwartz!
Got it.
Got to the front. Leontelli screaming for the ball about 30 metres out from goal. He's now covered. And Schwartz to go back. He takes the responsibility on. And will desperately want to kick a goal here to steady for the Demons. 10 possessions for David Schwartz. Stephen Silvani's done an excellent job on him. Schwartz, it's a wobbly, scrappy kick, and McKay takes the mark. He can relieve now for the Blues and try and get them moving. This is Houlihan. Deep in the back pocket. 14-10. Plays 16-8. Kicks out to half-back. A high one. Nicholson from behind White. Slapped it forward. Houghton. Quick kick. Into the middle of the ground. Lappin's there again. Who wants the footy the most? Lappin does, but it's dislodged from his hand. Desperate from Broadbridge. Equally desperate Jimmy Plunkett. And Manson will take. Not able to take the mark. Simmons, what can he do with it? Only Carlton plays ahead. He's going for the boundary. He's going for the boundary. Manton doesn't let him get there. Free kick to Carlton. Simmons didn't make enough effort to release the ball. And he had been pinged. And Glenn Manton with the kick from just on 50. 11.5 minutes to go.
Well, it was a big mistake by Glenn Manton to go to ground, but Simmons couldn't pick the ball up. I just question whether he had prior opportunity. Absolutely none. That's a shocking decision.
Well, the kick doesn't make the distance, so Melbourne might get out of it yet. Broadbridge, a dribbling one. Uze needs to be clean with the possession. He made it difficult for himself, really, by taking that bounce. Kicked it wide. All Carlton. This is McKay now. They're pretty good at this, the Blues. Just a little chip and finding someone inside the 50. He sets it up, Preborn. Lappin, no. Couldn't complete it. Nicholson, they're still under siege, the Demons. We're going to get a bounce 15 metres out from goal.
Great smother down here by young Wiggins. He really did do a good job there for McKay. And he's a very good thinker. He didn't want to take possession of the ball. He just covered for McKay, and they're back in. And gee, Lappin once again had another opportunity to snag one.
Okay, so the Wig very good at covering space. Fletcher, Freeborn out the back, cut off, Lappin again, cut off by Schwartz. Clearing kick from Uze was pretty important because they got the ball out of the danger territory. Farmer turned him inside out, ball bounced his way, couldn't get rid of it. Tackle from behind, fair enough, play on, said the umpire. Scotty Thompson was there, but Williams with a good handball to Farmer again. The Wizard got it onto Bruce, got to get the handball off quick, goes alone. Great stuff for Bruce!
Big response by the Demons. Came through. The Blues have just had all the play and they've had half a dozen opportunities, but a couple of untidy possessions up in their forward line has let the pocket dynamo Farmer just come charging through, and this is a pretty smart piece of play. They get it forward to Farmer, and finally it was Bruce who did the job.
Manton's gone from the ground. Melbourne is 17-8. Carlton are 14-10. That's steadying goal from the Demons. What impact will that have on the game? White over the top, won it conclusively down to Leontelli. We've seen that quite a bit today. Phoebe couldn't take it with him. Ratton, brilliant with the release. Hickmont, Bradley really finding a part in the game now. Plunkett sets it up. He's got a man loose. It's Merrington who's back on. Paddled it. Mansfield, great hands. Got it out. Here's Houghton off the left boot. He kicked a miracle goal last year. Not so last week. Not so this time. Kick away from Uze. Got it out to Simmons. Tough bounce for him, but he did pretty well. And they kept on running the Demons. Brown off half back. He's got White. Oh, he found him in a pretty scrappy fashion. White was beautifully tackled. Dispossessed of it by Houghton. He sat over the top of it. Desperation. Merrington gets it back. Good work from Houghton. Ratton running out of space, running out of room. Kick the ball around the corner. Somehow we get his partner in Coleman Camporelli. No. Simmons rode the bump, and the ball is over the line and out of bounds.
And what about Uze in the goal square there under all the pressure to get a right foot to it? His wrong foot, hacked it out of mid-air and got it to the boundary.
20 kicks and 2 handballs, a pretty typical ratio for Adam Uze today.
White won the hit out. Leon Shelley paddles it forward towards half forward. A good sit here for the Demons. They got all the numbers. Bruce happy to see it over. And Christou just rides him into the photographers. We'll have a throw in. So a throw in. Simmons won the hit out. Cooter got the handball away. Bradley, kick inside 50. Good looking kick. Has he got enough on it? Bounces towards the goal square. Wheatley paddles it through for a minor score. Well, the Demons are just answering at the moment. The margin 15 points.
Still plenty of time though. Over 9 minutes.
It'll be Wheatley to kick it in.
Just 15 points. I mean, 3 goals in 9 minutes is very doable. Demons need another goal or 2 to put it away.
Terrific long kick to the back, but to all the Carlton tall men. Houghton took the mark. Plunkett's on him with a bit of space. Can give it off to Houlihan. No, he's bottled up.
I reckon their midfield and defence have created enough opportunities for Carlton to win. They just haven't been able to get the score. That's a shocker.
Kick hasn't hit the target. There's numbers there, though. Robinson was tripped. Play on, said the umpire. Bradley got a quick kick away towards Wiggins, or Fletcher it is, who takes it. Too far out to score. All the numbers back for the Demons now. It's congested. Koutafes will be the target.
Beaumont's gone forward.
Goes to the pocket. Almost a half chance. Houlihan read it well. Clever tap over the back to Lapman. Got a quick handball away. Then in a squeeze, a kick out. Beaumont, can he do so? Ridden off the football. The Demons, you would think, can just about clear here. And they do through Brown. Good kick. And that man, Uze, can bang it away.
Oh, bang it he did. Williams trapped it brilliantly. He's had an excellent game, young Luke Williams. And the Demons maintaining possession. James McDonald emerges, kicks it into the sunshine. Farmer, where are you, sunshine? No, he couldn't take it with him. Well done by Silvani, but he was dispossessed. He was tackled. The Demons still full of spirit. Jeffrey off the ground, a bouncing kick close to the line. Green in the back, or well tackled. The umpire splits the difference and calls play on, and the ball is over the line and out of bounds.
Doesn't he add an extra dimension to Melbourne when he's up and running, Jeffrey?
17-8 to 14-11. A goal here for the Demons would almost see them home. As Jared said, though, there is still plenty of time if Carlton can get the next goal. Melbourne, such a miserable season to follow on last year's grand final appearance. Desperate for a victory this afternoon. Swartz winning it down, but the Blues winning it out of defence. Camporelli better watch out, holding the ball. He's gone. Brilliant tackle, a brilliant tackle. And it could prove a match-winning tackle.
Well, it just sums up the match almost, I reckon, Hutto.
Luke Williams.
Scott Camporelli, he just underestimated the pace of the bloke in chase, and was it Williams?
Yeah, Luke Williams. Luke Williams.
He's had a magnificent day, hasn't he?
One number out.
Another young player from Melbourne coming through who's had a very, very good afternoon. And that chase tackle and potentially a goal could well be a match winner.
They've had high hopes for Luke Williams. He's taken a little bit longer to develop than they thought, but he is a player who can miss the ball away to the right. And that's what he does there. So they haven't quite sealed it yet.
You know him particularly well, I know.
17-9 to 14-11. And there's still 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, the AFL media guide said he can miss the ball to the right on occasions, Hutto. Well spotted. Kick towards centre-half back. Silvani in front, couldn't take it. Godfrey rode the bump, couldn't get one out. Plunkett came up with the football, did very well. And Lapman's in a bit of space if it can bounce for him. Over the back was Merrington. Lapman goes again, tries to haul it in. Merrington again. Can he get the ball out? Did well to keep his feet. Worked his opponent inside the football. Kick to centre-half forward. Will it bounce for Houghton? Clever little give. Fletcher holds possession. Now Ratton goes short, goes to ground, hit what? I reckon it bounced. Play on, said the umpire. Good call. And a chance for the Demons to clear. No, coming out with a Houghton. How? Beaumont, has he missed? No. Comedy of errors. Incredibly. Houghton came up with the football and probably could have kicked the goal, Jared, but did the right thing to go for the handball.
Yeah, no, they did it particularly well, but it just sums up Carlton's day. I mean, how can you miss that goal? Well, you can do it easily, as we just saw.
Great desperation from Matthew Whelan, even though he didn't actually touch the ball. He put the pressure on. 14-12, plays 17-9 in this last quarter.
Just running out of time, though, aren't they? Carlton, one more goal to Melbourne and she's all over, but if the Blues get the next one, it's match on.
It certainly is. Fletcher to contest, not just contest, he takes the mark.
Bradley in the middle by himself.
Away to the left is Bradley. He's got a couple of options. In fact, he's going longer for Kuda. Sets it up for him. And the star, he slipped over. It's bounced through. It's bounced through, an unlikely goal to Fletcher. And the Blues are still in this. An accidental goal to Simon Fletcher puts them back within range again. 9 points the difference at Optus Oval, the closest the Blues have been yet.
It's a 3-card trick from Kuda. Have a look at the slip. Nicholson only worried about himself, not the footy, and about his man and not the footy, and that's one of the critical sins of defensive work. You've got to know where the ball is as well. He would have taken a chest mark if he had. What a goal.
So the Blues still a chance. They trail by 9. It's a war of attrition at Optus Oval. What a fantastic contest this afternoon. White won the hit out to Liancelli, couldn't take it. Plunkett squeezed a kick out towards centre wing. It's a foot race, and Whelan put the foot to the gas and took after it. Couldn't get the kick off the ground, could be costly. Nicholson there also. Handball at the back towards Phoebe. Ratton just tunneled it out to Bradley. Experienced stuff towards half forward from Bradley. Uze, who's been terrific, quickly got a kick away and just stays in the field of play. Stephen Phoebe takes a good mark. The Demons have a chance. Well, they can't slow it down yet because there's too much time left in the game.
Time clock says 21.5 minutes, so that's all they'll know. So they'll know there's still plenty of time to go.
They'll have to kick to a contest here, that's the problem. And that's something they don't like doing. Kicks to a major contest. McKay, the third man up, could have taken the mark. James McDonald came up with it.
He's must have paid the mark, has he?
I think that's even surprised McKay. Plays on. Kick, turned it over in the end. It'll come back to the Demons here. Wheatley got a handball away. James McDonald in and under, did really well. And this man Brown starting to develop. He's quick and he bangs it inside 50. Green, can it sit for him? No, it doesn't. Franchina. Cool hand of Franchina brings it to the fat side towards Houlihan, who takes the mark. And numbers on for the Blues all the way down the flank. Silvani goes to. He can go back in more if he wants, or he can keep going to Plunkett, which he does. Takes it. The man on's going to be Merrington. And Nicholson in front takes the mark. He's played a pretty good game today, Nicholson.
Oh,
dear.
dear.
Godfrey went to ground. That was costly. Gee, they're paddling at the moment, the Demons. They're just trying to hang on if they can. The ball goes out of bounds.
Gee, that was deliberate. If it wasn't already out, it might have already been out. The local fans, the Carlton fans, certainly believing it was out of bounds deliberately.
Throw in White. Plunkett got a handball away to Fletcher. Left foot. Decides to go long. Lappin's in the box seat. Uze's got to worry about the ball, as Jared said earlier. Here's a chance for Whelan. He goes to ground. Hickmott, he's pretty cool in these situations. Snap on goal. Could bounce through. Could bounce through. It bounces through for a minor score.
So 17-9, 111 to 15-13, 103. And the Blues continuing to press here at Optus Oval. They look dead and buried at half-time.
Just thought they wasted another opportunity, though. Hutto, Fletcher had the choice of two players, and he just didn't find one. Houlihan didn't go for the grab. He was more worried about getting Uze out of it. And even Adrian Hickmott could have done something more with it. Geez, it's slippery down there.
It is. Liancelli slips, and his kick just missed the mark by about half a metre. Fletcher taking the mark. He's had a big last quarter. Under 4 minutes to go. The Blues looking for a mark. Nicholson back to spoil as he's done all day. He does it pretty well. Knocked it clear. And now Whelan. They worked it all by hand and got it outside defensive 50. Godfrey off the left. Goes wide for Green. He propped against him Wiggins. Here's Silvani to help out. Oh, they both shepherded. No one went for the footy. And the free kick goes to Carlton.
Just another time, Carlton are bombing the ball into the forward line as if they've got Kouta-Footies in the goal square. He's not. They've got to find some shorts.
Ratton could go over the top to Houghton, who's loose. Still a long way from home. Couta's down there, but he goes shorter. Oh, well stolen by Mickey Mansfield. And his kick is good. His kick is very good. Another goal, and now 2 points the difference. Mansfield kicks his second goal for the afternoon.
Unbelievable.
2 points the difference. Who would have thought Melbourne was certainly in control? Even early in this last quarter, they're in control. Liantelli charging forward. Houlihan gets it back. Long kick forward from Plunkett. Neitz has to be good here. Fletcher with him. They all fall down again. Bradley, the old man, kept his footing and goes for Lappin. He's got it! Matthew Lappin has taken the mark. And he is within range. He's paid a push. He's paid a push to Beaumont. Well, it's a similar result, except it's a different man shooting for goal. Beaumont's kicked 11 goals, 3 this year. Never a more important kick. It's just a little bit away to the left. That's enough away to the left.
Disappointing. It was a huge shot. It should have put Carlton in front with just over 2 minutes of play remaining. Great work by the old man in Bradley, though, to spot him up.
So 1 point the difference. The pressure on the Demons. What do? Do they just try and hold on? The road is 2.5 minutes.
They've got to kick a score, get a goal.
Jose goes short and wide. It doesn't make it to Bruce on the fall. Suddenly they're under pressure, and he has to use it well. Pushes for White. Godfrey stays
Great
down.
mark, Jeffrey White.
A telling mark for Jeff White. 2 minutes. Just over 2 minutes remaining. The clock counting down. Melbourne hanging on by 1 point. They haven't won for a month.
They might play backwards now.
They're going to. Back it goes. Jose.
He could run backwards.
Well, he doesn't have to kick it long. He spots up Liantelli, who just couldn't run onto it. Fletcher missed it. Mansfield didn't. He swamped, but he got the hands clear. Great start. Away they go. Camporelli. It's only 1 man ahead, and that is Lappin. He went short of the freeborn, and it allowed the Demons to get back in it. Good hands from Hickmott, but it put pressure on Plunkett, and the umpire calls for a bounce.
Unlikely error and an unusual error from Camporelli, who was running, and I don't think he could get the boot to ball, so he just threw the handball up.
It's an open forward line away to the right here. Houlihan and Lappin, the only men for Carlton inside their 50. Melbourne now getting an extra man back. Silvani thumped away by Swartz, and what a tap it was. A telling tap taken by Farmer. He got it down to Williams. One-on-one he is with McKay. Here's Wiggins. Comes in to try and win the footy. They kept it alive, Williams. Desperation stuff. It's a goal. It's all over. It's all over. Brad Green. Brad Green kicks the goal. And that should be enough for Melbourne. It gives them a 7-point lead. The Demons defender, the Carlton defenders there, Jared, just desperate not to concede the point, and it cost them.
I think that's probably right, Hutto. It looked as if they were going to take it away, and the pace of Farmer was just quite explosive. Just look for Andrew McKay, just tries to keep the ball alive here. Williams doing well again, and it just slipped out the back. Unbelievable.
So Brad Green kicks his 3rd goal of the afternoon. Melbourne by 7 now. You wouldn't think, but never know. Carlton could kick 2 quick ones. Plunkett gets it forward. Well handled too by Adrian Hickmott. And they want to make sure they don't give away 50 here, the Demons. He wanted to move it quickly. Camporelli sets it up. Lappin looks dangerous again. He's got it! Yes! He has taken the mark.
Clock still ticks, though. Clock still ticking at 39 seconds.
And so Lappin can't take too long. Bradley says, hurry up. He hurries up, maybe even too quickly. He rushed it. Not a bad kick from Lappin under pressure. Not good enough. He maybe rushed it too quickly. He had to be quick, though, about it. So it was a difficult situation. 1 goal the difference. So Melbourne, if they can get a clean possession from the kick-in, Jared, will win.
The great man Ted Whitten once said, hit the boundary. I think the long ball wide is about the best option.
And the man he's gone for is Jose, and that should just about be enough. If they can be smart from here, and Jose's certainly not going to rush. Well, there's no one on the mark, so he's just hanging on. He's just waiting. This is the tactic now, is not put anyone on the mark and force them to play on, but he's under no obligation to kick.
He didn't have to move.
No, he didn't.
Stayed there.
Doesn't matter, though. It's a sweet afternoon for Melbourne. They've got home by 6 points, and at last Neil Danaher remembers remembers how to smile.